Live from English Stadium in Altavista, Virginia, it's time for Colonels football. The Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country. I'm Kyle Haney. With me tonight, my esteemed partner and colleague, Agent Zero, the Big O, Oscar Briggs. And Oscar, it's the Appomattox Raiders undefeated in town to take on the Altavista Colonels.
Coming in at 6-0, and after a little bit of a slow start, two 14-7 wins, one over Buckingham and one over both a Rustburg team. Both of those teams are very good teams. Boy, they've been on a roll since then. Breland Heritage 48-13, William Campbell 40-14, 34-0 over Gretna, 35-7 over Dan River, and that game was called off really early because of weather conditions. So Appomattox on a roll.
They really are on a roll, and you mentioned it. They played two really good teams in Buckingham and Rustburg early in the year, squeaked by them, and then after that, really been on a roll. As you mentioned, the Subway pregame show, always on a roll, and if you're ever on the go, Subway's got you covered. It's very easy to order online at Subway.com or with the Subway app. Go to Subway.com and download the Subway app today. We got a chance to catch up with the head coach of the Altavista Colonels, Mr. Mike Sharness. Talked to him about the big win the Colonels had last week down at Chatham. And, of course, we get to talk some about tonight's opponent, the Appomattox Raiders. You'll hear all that and more coming up on the Subway pregame show. It's the Raiders, it's the Colonels, high school football kickoff in about 28 minutes. You'll hear it all live on 105.5 KD Country.
English Construction Company has been in the building business since 1909, so it's only natural that they appreciate the building process. They recognize the fact that organized sports programs build character as well as bodies and minds. They know that high school sports build our youth into more well-rounded and more productive adults. English Construction Company is proud to be a sponsor of high school sports and salute all athletes, coaches, and teachers. A word of praise and encouragement from English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg. Good food, low prices, and great service keep customers coming back for more day after day at El Cazador Mexican Restaurant in Altavista. El Cazador is now open all afternoon, so you can come by anytime, any day, 11 a.m. till 10 p.m. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, a great place to unwind and relax with friends. Open 7 days a week, Main Street, Altavista. El Cazador thanks you for your business.
No one knows trucks like we know trucks. Come see us and you'll agree. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC. Come on in. Bring the family, see your friends at Highview Motors, GMC. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC.
Stay cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling on the ready to keep you comfortable year-round. Locally owned and operated, just a call away with over 20 years experience. Licensed and bonded, Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, specializing in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical, any season, anytime. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Give them a call today. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, Gretna.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
Subway pregame show returns from English Stadium. Altavista High School is the site, pardon me. Colonels taking on the Appomattox Raiders and talking once again with the head coach, Mike Sharness. And Coach Sharness, before we get to the Raiders here tonight, you had a really good team win over Chatham 34-7. You rack up a bunch of yards, 5 different guys score, and you even find a way to overcome a few miscues in there, and you come out with, like I said, a very good team win.
Yeah, we were disappointed at halftime that we had our turnovers and didn't capitalize on the ball control that we were utilizing and have a score a lot more than what the 14-7 halftime. We had 2 turnovers that I think would have led to potentially 2 touchdowns, and then we didn't do a good job with the clock management at the end of the half and didn't get a chance to get a field goal off. So we lost some points there, and but came back second half and played very well.
Well, let's talk about a guy that has been on your ball club for a while. We don't talk about him a whole lot, but Dante Poindexter. Oscar and I joke around. We've got multiple nicknames for him. Sometimes we call him the Human Wrecking Ball. Sometimes we call him the Big Cat, and both of those are probably pretty accurate. Talk about Dante a little bit, and you even had him standing up and playing some linebacker the other night. Talk about that too.
Yeah, his role with our team has evolved over this 4 years. He started as a freshman, and he's been a down lineman defensively for us, and he's going to play tonight as a linebacker. So he's definitely evolved and helped us out more and more each year. And this senior year, he's doing a great job on offense also as our H-back, who's primarily a blocker, and he's done a great job. So his senior year has been outstanding.
Well, another guy that was blocking outstanding all year as a wide receiver, Chancellor Mormon, then gets a pass thrown to him and takes it to the house. Talk a little bit about Chancellor, another guy who maybe has been flying under some people's radar, but good kid and a good football player too.
Yeah, Chancellor's got the physical tools. He just had to put it all together. I think he was 0 for 3, and he would admit this too. He was 0 for 3 and passes thrown to him. He dropped a few, and this game we were waiting on to see him catch the football and then do what he did, which was race down the sideline. He's got good speed, and he's got a lot of potential, and we hope that this is just the beginning for him.
Well, talking with the head coach, Mike Charnes of the Altavista Colonels, let's transition now to the Appomattox Raiders, a talented ball club. They're undefeated coming into tonight. One of the best pass and catch combos around in Matt Page and Buster Henderson, but they're still a run first team, right? Even though they can throw the ball. Yeah,
offensively they're gonna run their split back veer, which is under center, which is an offense that's been around for a long time. It's a run oriented offense, but you can throw out of it, but it's basically more of a run offense, and they can get out of that offense and get right into the spread and run different variations of the spread. And they've got tons of athletes, tons of weapons that the Page kid could throw the ball to, and they've got kids that can run the football too. So they're a very good football team. Defensively, they run a 3-4 scheme, and they do a great job defensively. They've been holding people to low scores and undefeated, so they're doing a great job on both sides of the ball, and special teams. Last couple of weeks have been very big for them.
Game plan tonight, without revealing too much, but similar as always. Want to establish the run and then also hit them with some passes too.
Well, defensively, we got to tackle out in space, out on the perimeter. If their backs receivers break loose, we've got to tackle because we can't give up the big play. That'll hurt us. If we do that, that'll hurt any defense. So we've got to do a good job of tackling. And offensively, it is back to where you want to control the ball a little bit. And move the chains, and we've got to do that both through the ground and in the air, because they're very good defensively both ways, pass defense and run defense. And then the big thing for us is don't turn the ball over. We cannot afford to turn the ball over tonight, or it'll cost us dearly.
Well, final question for you on the Subway pregame show. You guys have always been known as a team that is in shape and fit, and your ruggedness too. I mean, you hit people hard. Do you feel like that's helped you pull away in the second half in these last 2 weeks and all season? I mean, do you feel like just the way you guys pound on people, eventually it starts to wear them down in the third and fourth quarter?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I like the fact that we do that we're pulling away. Obviously, in the second half, we want to do a better job in the first half of not having the turnovers and have to do that in the second half. But I don't know. Our kids, we're few in numbers, but I like to think we're a tough group. This year and every year that we field a team, I like to think that we play physical and tough football. So hopefully that is what it is.
Tough physical game tonight as the Raiders are in town taking on the Colonels. Kickoff about 20 minutes away on 105.5 KD Country.
Prompt, confidential, professional. A-Town Bail Bonds. 434-401-0253. Local, reliable, available 24/7. A-Town Bail Bonds. 434-401-0253. When a friend or family member is arrested and jailed, call a professional. Call Chip Rourke and A-Town Bail Bonds. 434-401-0253. Get answers. Get help. A-Town Bail Bonds. 434-401-0253.
This broadcast is brought to you by the members of the KD Country Sports Club.
Chef's Drive-In, where the shake machine is shaking and dozens of flavors to choose from.
One Stop Mart, where the gas is cheap, the beverages are cold, and the chicken is kicking.
El Cerrito Altavista. Throw on a sombrero, shake your maracas, it's El Cerrito time.
Altavista Medical and Oncology Massage Therapy, Broad Street, can help relieve your pain.
Vista Foods Altavista, your hometown grocery with the freshest produce and best meats.
McDonald's in Altavista, committed to the community and bringing the world's favorite food.
Steve Farmer Auto Sales, Main Street Altavista, best deals on wheels.
Colonel's Football is brought to you by the Sports Club on KD Country.
Unfortunately, I have some bad news.
How bad is it, Doctor?
We've done all we can. Your heat pump's not gonna make it.
Oh, no.
Honey, it's going to be okay. We'll call Select Air Mechanical and Electrical, 332-2600. With over 60 years experience, they'll have us comfortable again in no time.
I recommend Select Air to all my patients. Call 332-2600 or visit selectairmechanical.com. They can handle all your home comfort needs, and they're an authorized trained dealer. It's hard to stop a train.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
Subway pregame show returns from Altavista High School. Remember, 3 area locations around Altavista: Main Street, also inside the Walmart on the Clarion Road, and inside Foster Fuels on Route 29 for your local Subways. And again, the pregame show is brought to you by Subway of Altavista. Oscar, we're back up here in the very friendly and cozy confines of the press box at Altavista High School. It's good to be home, but let's talk about that road trip we had just a little bit last week. Colonels go down there and they have some miscues, some fumbles, but overall it turns out to be a really good win. 5 different guys score. They rack up nearly 500 yards and hold Chatham to about 150, I think it was. So really it ended up being a pretty solid win.
It's starting to look like the Colonels enjoy playing in the second half. You look at the second half against Rustburg, and they really either played even with or maybe even outplayed Rustburg a little bit. Certainly in the Nelson County game, slow start, 7-0 going into the fourth quarter, and they exploded. And then last week at Chatham, 14-7 lead, and then they just came out and dominated the second half. So, you know, certainly looks like that's the MO of this young team, is making some mistakes in the first half and then correcting them and really playing well in the second half.
Yeah, you heard me mention to Coach Sharness, you know, I thought maybe it's their fitness and their ruggedness, the way they just bang on the other team and wear them down, and they've still got strength in the second half. And certainly that's part of it, but you heard him, he didn't think necessarily that was it. And maybe it is a combination of everything. Maybe it's the adjustments the Colonels are making at halftime.
And you know, these kids, you know, a lot of skill positions are sophomores. Are they coming out and not used to seeing some of the things that these other teams are presenting to them, and taking a half to get adjusted to them?
Excellent point. Speaking of presentation, the Appomattox Raiders are going to present some serious problems tonight for the Altavista Colonels, as they have done to all their opponents this year. Remember, 6-0 on the young season, undefeated. There's only 3 undefeated teams at the 2A level on first down.
Yeah, you talked about running. He was running up the back of Xavier Morgan, who's 6 feet, 295 pounds, and he was literally running step for step. There was no room in between them, and Colonels just couldn't bring him down.
2nd and 2 for the Raiders. Page going to keep it himself. Option play to the left. Man had him wrapped up around the jersey. Great tackle right there by Matt Aiken. Aiken grabbed a hold of Matt Page's jersey and just sort of held on for dear life. And as Aiken went down, he sort of pulled Page down with him on the tackle.
Yeah, Matt Page, Appomattox is starting to exploit the edge against the Colonels. If it weren't for Aiken doggedness holding on to that jersey, he would have broke that for some big yards.
Well, that veer offense is tricky, Oscar. It's a little bit old school, and they can, like you said, exploit you outside. They can exploit you off tackle, and then they can exploit you in the middle, too. 3 receivers to the right, shotgun formation for the Raiders. Page, quick throw out to the right. Pass a little high. Adams gambled and went for the interception, didn't break it up. This is a complete pass and a 10-yard pickup on first down on the little quick hitter out there on the far sideline.
Boy, Adams did a good job again. He jumped that route maybe got a fingertip on it as the ball got to him, I think, a little quicker than he realized. I think he did get a fingertip on it, but nice job by Appomattox receiver keeping his concentration, reeling the ball in, and first down at about the 38-yard line of the Colonels.
It was Buster Henderson on a design screen type of pass. They want to throw to him again. Henderson's got it at the 40, turns it up inside, hit hard at the 35. Now brought down by a host of Colonels, including but not limited to Traquan Farmer, Mateo Malbeck, Nelson Dews. And it looks also like Matt Aiken was in on that stop as well. 5-yard pickup on first down on another, really the same play, just to the other side of the field, mirror image play.
Nelson Dews took on Dre Perkins, who was blocking out on the edge on that play, and then he really kind of leveled Perkins and was really the first one that made contact with Buster Henderson.
Dews is on Henderson again. Appomattox going to go under center this time. Tight end is to the right, 2 backs in the backfield. Page is going to hand it off to the first back. Hit hard behind right tackle. Colonels drag him down eventually. He's close to that first down marker, Oscar. They're in Colonel Field territory. They needed to get to the Altavista 27. I think they got to about the 27.5-yard line. Officials may even take a long look at this and may opt to measure. It would be third down. We've got 3:17 left to play in the first quarter. Still no score from Altavista High School. The stick is the yard marker stick is flush with the first down mark. Now they are going to move, I believe. Yeah, they called it a first down. It took some time, but they called it a first down. Big shout out to my good buddy Matt Wallen, the Snap, Crackle, Pop, and the Human Cereal Box. Matt Wallen, one of the best drummers I've ever seen in person anyway. Page under center again here on first down. Wants to throw. Complete, no, incomplete. In and out of the hands of the would-be receiver along the right side numbers there.
Boy, that play fooled the Colonels as well.
Fooled me a little bit.
Yeah, Page started that rollout as the Veer often does, and then he pulled up and almost did a kind of a little jump pass type thing on a slant pattern and just threw it behind the receiver. He was open.
Yeah, it had an odd look to it. I think you're right. It fooled the Colonels' defense a little bit. 2nd and 10 now for the Raiders. 1 tight end to the right, 2 receivers to each side, split back Veer in the backfield. Page, play action pass, going to roll to his left. Wants to throw, pass a little high. Did Mateo Malbeck dive and get an interception? Yes, he did. Mateo Malbeck and the Altavista Colonels have come up with another big-time defensive play. That ball hit the hands of the intended target for the Raiders, the big tight end. It hit his hands. Malbeck took to the skies. He leaped. He got under the end-over-end football before it could hit the turf, and it's an interception for the Colonels.
Boy, that's the old tip drill, and great concentration by Mateo. Great athleticism to stay engaged, to go after that ball, and he literally scooped it right before it hit the turf. Great job by Malbeck. Great by that Colonels defense, bending and not breaking.
They did it again. Bend but don't break. They've survived another Appomattox offensive series. Colonels back on offense for the 3rd time tonight. They had to get their offensive personnel straight. Jones racing around to get set up on the left side of the formation. Colonels are on the right hash mark here on their own 14-yard line. Quarterback keeper, Adams going to try and go up the middle. Not a whole lot doing there as he's shoved in the backfield by the big, stout Appomattox defensive line. They give him a yard on the play, so credit Adams for the hard-nosed running there on first down for the Colonels. 2.5 minutes left to play in the first, Oscar. Still no score between the Raiders and the Colonels.
Yeah, that play had an odd look from the start with the substitution. It was late getting on the field, and Appomattox having no part of Adams up the middle. They've scouted. They've seen film.
2 receivers to each side. Running back is to Adams' right. Colonels are on their own 16-yard line, 2nd and 8. Adams going to hand it off to Montague. Montague hit hard in the backfield. Nothing doing there. Probably a loss of at least 2 or 3 on the running play. It's going to bring up 3rd and 10 for the Colonels. They've had this situation the previous 2 drives, Oscar. And, you know, they've had some good play calls. They just haven't been able to execute them. I wonder if they're going to go to the pass again here, or maybe it's time to try one of those draw plays or something to possibly catch Appomattox off guard.
That's going to be a difficult proposition. This Appomattox defense is stout.
Very true. 2 receivers to each side. Adams looks over the defense, steps into the shotgun snap, chest high, catches, got some time to throw. Now he's flushed out of the pocket, and the football came out. Adams, I think, fell on it and got it back at the Colonel's 17-yard line. Tried to make a spin move, popped out of his hands right there, and he fell on it. Raiders are signaling that they have it. I haven't seen anything from the officials yet.
There it is.
Now there's the official signal.
And there's an Altavista player down in the backfield.
Yep. One of the linemen for the Colonels is down. It's going to be Raiders football on the Colonel's 17 after a turnover there. So as big as the Altavista interception was on their defensive side, the Raiders have come up with an equally as big defensive play. We'll step aside for the injury timeout. 30-second timeout here. 1:12 left to play in the Select Air first quarter. Raiders 0, Colonel 0. You're hearing it all live on 105.5 KD Country.
The Village Barbershop, an old-school 1960s-style barbershop, offering classic and current cutting techniques for gentlemen and boys. No appointment necessary. Responsible pricing in a clean family environment. Village Barbershop, open Tuesday through Friday, 8 to 6, Saturdays till noon. Stop by and see Danny Barber at Village Barbershop, serving Altavista and surrounding areas from 619 Broad Street. Give them a try.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
One Altavista Colonel lineman still down on the field right now. Both teams huddling up on the field and sucking down some water. 0-0 is our score between Appomattox and Altavista. I'm Kyle Haney. He is Oscar Briggs. So glad that you could join us on a Football Friday. A really nice evening out there for some football. Interesting exchange, Oscar. I mean, the Colonels seem to get some momentum with the interception, and then the 3rd and 10 play where Adams is flushed out of the pocket. He's doing the right thing by trying to take off and get the yards that he can get, but the football pops out. Looked like initially he fell on the loose ball, but the Raiders might have grabbed it underneath the pile, and sometimes that's all you have to do. It's Raiders football on the Colonel's 17, and we still have an injured Altavista lineman down on the field. It looks a little bit like Ken Brumfield. It's Kagan Cox, pardon me, I believe, and he's walking off under his own power at the moment. Cox is a big guy, 5'8", 270 on the roster, and he's an important part of the Colonel's offensive and defensive lines, but he's hobbling off under his own power, and we'll see if he gets a chance to go back in the game or not. He's sort of describing the injury to some of the coaches over there on the sideline.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's hard to tell, but Appomattox is wasting no time. They're ready to go. Page has got up under center.
Yeah, 1:12 left to play in the Select Air first quarter. Page is ready to go in under center. Gets in the low crouch, split backs behind him. Keeps it himself on the option play to the right. Turns it up inside along the right hash mark. Hit hard by a couple Colonels, but he did manage to gain a solid chunk of yards there on first down. We'll call it a 5-yard pickup on the option play by Matt Page and the Appomattox Raiders.
Yeah, Colonels, they've been successful getting on the edge with that option play, and you got to believe they're going to start utilizing it more and more.
Yeah, and Page hits it so quickly as a quarterback. Here's a straight handoff play to Fleshman. Fleshman wanted to go up the middle. Now he breaks it outside. Nice tackle by Mateo Malbeck. Mateo Malbeck appears to be on his game tonight. Great tackle. Went low, hit the knees of Fleshman, stopped him right in his tracks, and it'll bring up 3rd and 6. Boy, the Colonel's defense has set themselves up for some good third down situations.
I don't know who came in and cut the edge and made him try to bounce backwards a little bit and get outside, but once he did that, Mateo Malbeck had already made the decision. He had a B drawn on him, and he knocked him down for that loss. It's 3rd and 5.
Excellent point. I think it was Traquan Farmer over there at one of those outside backer spots that made him bounce it outside. Running play here. No, Page tried to pass it. He's going to try it again. Just flips it out shortly to Fleshman. Fleshman's got enough for the first down.
Ball came out. Like the Colonels might have
Football came out on the far sideline. Again, we'll wait for an official signal. Everybody from the Colonels jumped up signaling that they had it. Still waiting. Officials have not said anything.
Have they avoided another disaster?
Wow. It was enough for a first down by the Raiders. Everybody just sort of standing in place. I think the referees are going to say that Appomattox, this is going to be a first down for the Raiders. There's a couple Colonels still huddled up around the officials as a couple of the officials are talking about it right now.
They're marking that ball. It looks like it's short, Kyle.
Good point. I thought he had enough for the first down. He does appear to be short of the first down marker based on where that ball is spotted. So maybe Fleshman was the receiver for the Raiders.
They're
Philip
still talking
Fleshman.
about it.
They are. It's a long conversation.
Maybe they're looking at the replay going back to New York.
Unfortunately, no replay in high school. No time left on the clock for the first quarter, Oscar. So whatever happens, whoever's football it is, they'll have to wait till after a little mini break more than this. Here comes an official out to the middle of the field to make a signal. He still hasn't really indicated anything one way or the other. Let's take the time out for the quarter break, shall we? Second quarter action. When you come back, it's 0-0, Appomattox Altavista on 105.5 KD Country.
TCM Industrial Services recognizes the importance of high school athletics by sponsoring this award-winning broadcast. TCM Industrial Maintenance and Construction Specialist providing welding, millwright, erection, and fabrication services to all forms of industry throughout the Mid-Atlantic region from offices in Alta Vista. TCM Industrial Services wishes Coach Chartis and the Alta Vista football team a safe and successful season. Go Colonels!
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
Well, we've played one quarter of football from English Stadium. No scoring just yet. 0-0 between Altavista and Appomattox. And we saw some good football, Oscar. We saw some not-so-good football. And then we saw some strange things, too. We still aren't quite sure what's going to happen here at the start of the second quarter. I'm thinking it's going to be Appomattox football and maybe a 4th and 1 or a 4th and 2 situation.
Yeah, that's certainly what it appears to be.
Don't quote me on that,
they've even marked the ball back another couple of yards from where it was. This is quite bizarre.
It is bizarre.
Hey, on the upside, first quarter, no score. Colonels have done a good job keeping Appomattox out of a very, very potent Appomattox offense out of the end zone.
The Colonels have done a nice job. Our sound engineer, Eleanor Haney, suggested another possibility. Maybe the officials are discussing where they're going to eat afterwards. Plenty of good choices. Great.
Subway, Moose.
That's right.
Zaxby's.
El Cazador. Yeah, we've got plenty of great choices we can offer up to them. No, you're right, though. They did sort of change the spot of that football. The offense is set and ready to go for Appomattox, though. You can tell by that formation. They're going to get under center with the split back. So I'm thinking the stick over there on the far sideline that indicates what down it is still says 3. That seems shocking that it could still be 3rd down. Appomattox ran that play on 3rd down.
No, it's got to be 4th down.
I'm with you. The play itself was a little odd. Matt Page took to the skies like he was going to do that jump pass again. He held on to it.
Well, here's the other alternative. Are they going to call that a no play? There was a whistle or the quarter ran out before the play started?
Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
That's
maybe
certainly what it's starting to look like.
Right.
That's what it's looking like.
I think that's probably a good assessment by you. I think that play never got off officially, and the officials didn't blow the whistle, so the play went on, but then they went back and talked about it. Yeah, 3rd and 5 for Appomattox. That's the best we can tell you, folks. Page goes under center for the Raiders. Hands it off to the first man through, and he's got some yards. Hit hard around the 5-yard line, close to the goal line, but not in. He'll be stopped around the 2 or the 3. It was either Philip Fleshman or Trey Walker on the carry. He hit that hole quickly. Really ran that one in between left guard and left tackle. Raiders are going to line up quickly on 1st and goal.
Boy, not to belabor the point, but what a break for Appomattox, because it certainly looked like there was a fumble, and Alta Vista may have recovered it. To have no play really is a backbreaker.
1st and goal for the Raiders. Hand off to Fleshman. He's going right tackle, dives for the end zone, and he is in. On the second play of the second quarter, the Raiders have scored to break the deadlock. They lead 6-0. That touchdown comes at 11:34 left to play in the Select Air second quarter. Raiders will trot out some new personnel. Looks like they're going to try and kick the extra point. Yeah, the fumble at the end of the first quarter, the fumble that was for naught, I suppose, really could have changed the football game around. And certainly we've seen turnovers affect this football game already anyway. Appomattox has thrown one interception, and the Colonels have fumbled the ball away once. Here comes the extra point try, snap back, ball down, kick looked to be pulled to the left, but still snuck inside the left upright by Deshaun Thomas. And that'll make it 7-0. Raiders on top. Colonels football when you come back. 11:34 left to play in the half on 105.5 KD Country.
Brother needs a pickup, sister wants a ride. Uncle needs a sports car to keep him satisfied. Mama, she wants comfort, luxury and style. And Daddy, he just wants a deal that's gonna make him smile. Everybody's happy, you can hear them all say, we're glad we went to Fellas Chevrolet. Competition for all dealers in Central VA. A short drive will save you money. Fellas Chevrolet in Alta Vista.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
The Raiders take advantage of an Altavista fumble and produce points off of a short field. It looked like, that the Colonels might have gotten the football back on a fumble, but that play didn't count. We went to the second quarter, and the Raiders punched it in from 3 yards out. Philip Fleshman on the carry, and a correction on the extra point, Oscar. It was Carter Jamerson kicking the extra point.
He's been kicking for 7 years.
I know. I don't know how I screwed it up. I believe that Deshaun Thomas was holding, and that's why I thought maybe he made the kick. But it was Carter Jamerson with the boot to give Appomattox the 7-0 lead. Jamerson on to kick off for the Raiders. Back deep to return. Looks like Chancellor Mormon and Mateo Malback for the Altavista Colonels. Malback's going to field this one again. 12-yard line. Caught it in stride. Going to break it to the 20. Now to the 25. Hit hard by a couple Appomattox coverage men and then dropped at the 27-yard line. Solid field position to start, though, for the Altavista Colonels. Their fourth drive of the young football game.
I think the Colonels have got to do something a little bit different. They can't keep having 2nd and 9, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10. They've got to do something to, as we become, we like to say a lot now, getting ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
Or staying on schedule.
That's right.
They've got to do something to get 2nd and 5 and a little bit more manageable down situation. They can't continue to have these long 2nd and 3rd down situations.
Looks like the Colonels will make a slight formation adjustment anyway. They'll put 2 tight ends in there, 2 wideouts, 1 running back. Adams is the quarterback. He gives it to Montague. Going to go behind a pulling guard there to the right. Bounced into his own man and then dropped at the 30-yard line. 1.5 or 2-yard pickup for the sophomore, Jonathan Montague. Rolling clock turns, 10:58 showing. Raiders lead 7-0. It'll be 2nd and 8 coming up for the Altavista Colonels. Back to your point, I mean, even the big boys, the college guys and the NFL guys, their numbers on 3rd and 10 are not that great. You know, they can pick up 3rd and 3 and 3rd and 4, but even those guys, you back them up to 3rd and 10, and it really gives the defense a big advantage. Adams changed the snap count. Looked like a Raider jump, but no flags.
Raider did jump. There was certainly a Raider did jump, and the coaching staff, the Colonels, captains are all trying to get a call, and nothing from the ref.
Yeah, the officials aren't perfect. Neither are we. We demonstrate that on a weekly basis.
Wow.
Adams lost a yard there on the carry on the quarterback keeper. He'll set up the aforementioned 3rd and 9. It's about the 4th time the Colonels have been in this situation. Colonel players looking over to the sideline to get the signal.
And we talk about it like it's easy to do that against this Appomattox defense, and it's certainly not. They are stout.
3 wide receivers to the short side of the field. That's the left. Wide side is the right side of the field. Adams calls for the football. Option play. Pitches it to the right to Montague. Montague across the 30. Some nice moves. A little hesitation move to get a 7-yard pickup, but he's still going to be a full 2 or 3 yards shy of the marker to gain. And it looks like the Colonels are going to punt for the 3rd time tonight.
Yeah, you'll see Walker Allen back, and positive yardage certainly gives Walker a little bit more room to operate. From the 35-yard line is where the line of scrimmage will be.
And maybe, since it's 4th and 3 now, maybe that gives the threat of a fake to the Raiders so they can't bring that heavy rush that they've been bringing on the previous punts. We'll see. 9:12 left to play in the Select Air second quarter. It's a 7-0 Appomattox lead. Snap is head high. Walker catches, steps into the kick. Right leg booming
punt.
Over. Great kick will land on the 25-yard line or get fielded on the 25-yard line. Return man hit hard by Nelson Dews, and Dante Poindexter dropped around the 34-yard line. That was a high-hanging boot from the right foot of senior Walker Allen that really helped flip the field for the Altavista Colonels.
45-yard punt, all in the air, 12-yard return. He was able to turn that ball over. Nice return by Appo.
You know, it really was a nice return. I mean, considering how high that ball stayed in the air, how long the Colonels had time to get down there and track it.
He kind of did what I do. He outkicked his coverage.
You're famous for that.
I am famous.
Bob Alvis is famous for playing with house money. Shout out to Mr. Alvis. He's probably tuning in. He likes to bounce around a little bit and listen to some other people. And
you're famous for boots on the ground.
I love the boots on the ground. I love to kick the can down the road at the end of the day. You just you have to use some of those lines. Wide receiver sweep here for the Raiders. Hitting the hole full speed, brought down along the outside in between the right hash and numbers by Dante Poindexter. That was number 6, Trey Walker, on the carry. Speedy wide receiver for the Raiders will pick up 6 yards on first down, make it 2nd and 4 with 8:19 left to play in the half. 7-0 Raider lead.
Boy, Dante Poindexter got to the outside and tracked him down. Mateo Malback coming in from the safety position as well. Second, and like you said, 2nd and 4.
Well, I think that's the question, too, when you put a big guy like Dante Poindexter at middle backer. You know he's going to clog up the middle, but can he get to those outside plays? Snap hit Page's hands and went backwards. This is a big loss for the Raiders. Nice job by number 5, Philip Fleshman, to fall on the football. It was a bullet snap. I mean, the center gave Page the fastball. It was a little high. Matt Page got his hands on it, but it skipped off and went in the backfield. That's a full 15-yard loss for the Raiders. Yeah, this is going to set up 3rd and about 22, Oscar.
They had 2nd and 4.
Wow.
Now, like you said, it's 3rd and 20-something. And, boy, you can't help it. You got Dante Poindexter if you're a center. I'll finish that in a minute.
Page is going to throw. Far sideline, hangs it up. It's complete. Complete at the 45-yard line. It's enough for a first down and a little bit extra. What a pass by Matt Page. I mean, he was standing on the right hash mark. He threw it to the left sideline, hanging it up in the air for his receiver. Colonel's coverage broke down just a little bit, and it allowed Appomattox to pick up 30 on the 3rd down play.
Nelson Dews was playing off the defender, had plenty of time to react to the ball. He was just slow getting there. I don't know what happened. He slipped or what happened.
Fresh set of downs for the Raiders. Shotgun formation for Matt Page. He's going to throw to his left. Wings it out there, complete on the far sideline. Receiver jumping over would-be tacklers. 5-yard pickup on first down. It wasn't Buster Henderson. Let me see if we can identify who caught the pass. At least I don't think it was Buster Henderson.
I don't know. The receiver jumped up one time and missed somebody, and the Altavista player hit him. He jumped over another player. Another Altavista defender hit him.
It was like double dutch out on the blacktop with the jump rope.
It's still a pickup of 6, and they're starting to grind on this Altavista defense. The defense has been out. Again, they go both ways, but this defense has been out on the field too long.
Yeah, and been on their heels for part of the time, too. Colonel's D-line scrambling to get set. Page goes under center. Now he hops up. Looks like he's changing the play call for the Raiders.
Got isolation over here.
2nd and 4. Page hands it off to the first man. The football came out. The football came out again, and Mateo Malback does have it. This time an early signal from the official. This one was an easy call. Mateo Malback bouncing on the fumble, and the Colonels with another takeaway. This Altavista defense, like we said, they've been on their heels for a little bit tonight, but they've come up with some big plays when the opportunities have presented themselves.
5:53 remaining here in the 2nd quarter. Colonels trailing 7-0. They have got to find a way to generate some offense here. And again, we mentioned it. It's well documented. A lot of kids go both ways, but they've got to start moving the ball against this Appomattox Raider team and take some plays on their defense.
Looks like Nelson Dews is in the backfield for his first stint at the running back spot tonight. Adams is looking over at the Colonel's sideline, possibly thinking about changing the play. Still plenty of time on the play clock. It's down to 10. Now he gets the snap, chest high, steps into it, right-handed throw, hits Walker Allen in the hands, but it's broken up by some pretty good Raiders coverage. It was number 14, Devon Graves over there, and then also Buster Henderson was in the area. Good coverage by the Raiders. Good pass by Jacob Adams. Maybe a little bit out front and led him a little bit. 2nd and 10 for the Colonels. 5:49 left to play in the half, Oscar. It's a 7-0 Appomattox lead.
Yeah, I like the play call. The off tackle and up the middle plays are not getting them anywhere right now, so they've got to take some risk.
Aaron Close is in the backfield for the Altavista Colonels as a blocking back. Jacob Adams, the sophomore quarterback, ready for the snap, catches, fakes it to Nelson Dews, going to keep it himself. He's across the 34-yard line to the 36 and thrown down. 6 white jerseys around Jacob Adams. He did not have a whole lot of blocking over there on that left side and made the best of what he did have, and that ends up being a 1-yard loss.
The one blocker that he had over on this side was Aaron Close, and that 2 players just overpowered him.
3rd and 11 coming up for the Altavista Colonels. Again, a familiar situation if you've been listening to this game. Colonels have punted it away 3 times. They fumbled it away once. This is their 5th time touching the football. Adams checking the defense. 3 down linemen for the Appomattox Raiders. They show blitz, and they bring the blitz. Adams throws. Oh, it hit Mateo Malback as he dove out to his left for it. He was unable to pull it in. I think he had it momentarily, Oscar. And then when he hit the turf, it popped out, and that'll bring up 4th and 11. Another punting situation for the Colonels.
Yeah, he was laid out. Fastball by Jake Adams. Again, if you're a baseball coach, you got to love that. Just, again, that timing is just a little bit off. He threw the ball before Mateo broke out of on his route, and just timing, like I said, is just a little bit off.
Walker Allen on for his 4th punt of the game. 5:03 left to play in the half. Appomattox stacks the line of scrimmage again, showing a block. Snap gets back chest high to Walker Allen. The right-footed kicker booms it away again. This one will land on the 30-yard line. Return man doesn't opt to handle it, and downed on the 20-yard line by Nelson Dews. Again, another nice kick, and the coverage was solid again by the Altavista Colonels.
40-yard punt.
They're doing a good job of blocking Appomattox up front. I mean, when the Raiders stack 10 guys on that line of scrimmage, you would think somebody was going to get through, but it hasn't seemed to happen just yet. 4:36 left to play in the half. 7-0, Appomattox on top. The Raiders will take over on offense. They'll scrimmage from their own 21-yard line in between the hashes, more so to the right hash mark, but inside of it by about 3 yards. Matt Page, the quarterback for the Raiders. He's a senior. He's under center and ready to go. Option play to the left. Page fakes the pitch, keeps it himself up the left hash mark. Pardon me. 2-yard pickup on first down. Page got hit hard as he got dropped to the turf. Matt Aiken was there. Dante Poindexter was there. Stephen Farmer was there.
Mateo Malbec was there.
You informed me that Stephen Farmer wearing a different number tonight. He's wearing number 6 tonight. He is normally number 52, but the home jersey got a little torn up last time they wore these black jerseys. 2nd and 8 coming up for Appomattox. Left hash mark. Page, a little bit of a long snap count, hands it to the running back. That's not Fleshman. That running back is bounced around to the left. I believe that's number 21, Deron Kelso on the carry. Kelso with a 7-yard pickup.
I think Nelson Dews made initial contact, hit him pretty hard, but not before the first down was gained.
I thought he was going to be shy of the first down, but he obviously reached it out at the end of the play. And sometimes these ball carriers are difficult to identify for Appomattox because they use so many different guys. It's not one of those cases like we have sometimes where the jerseys are hard to read. They just flash a bunch of guys in and out. The one constant is the quarterback, Matt Page. 1st and 10. He wants to throw. Play action pass on first down. Chased out of the pocket and now dropped in the pocket. His momentum is done at the 20-yard line. It's number 5, Chancellor Mormon on the blitz from the outside. Was the first man there.
Traquan Farmer in to help out clean that up as well. And the Colonel's coaching staff is really rotating some players in now that we haven't seen as heavy a rotation as we have in some of the earlier games. So they're adapting to the situation. 3:07 remaining here. Colonels trailing 7-0. Second and about 25 right now. Big play right there for the Colonels.
Excellent observation by you on the substitutions and the rotations. I mean, you see Chancellor Mormon, he makes a big sack, and then he comes out for a breather. So they are mixing and matching, using some different personnel. 2nd and real long here. Shotgun formation. Page wants to throw. Steps up in the pocket. Now he's flushed out. He's to the 20. Shake and bake move at the 24. He's free at the 30. He shrugged off multiple tacklers. Finally dropped at the 31-yard line. Nice, smooth running from the deuce. Number 2, Matt Page there on the carry. Doesn't get it back to the original line of scrimmage, but he gets it to a 3rd and manageable for Appomattox. We'll call it 3rd and 12 coming up, Oscar.
Yeah, that was a nice run. Several Colonels had opportunity to get to him, just couldn't quite get there. Dante Poindexter trying to run him down from behind. He kind of sidestepped out of that tackle. Nice job by Page. He's got to be winded, though.
You would think. 3rd and long coming up. Page wants to throw again. Design drop back pass. Steps up in the pocket, avoids the rush, lobs it out. Batted away at the 43-yard line by Walker Allen. Stuck the big right arm out, swatted at it, and knocked it away from Devon Graves, who ran a nice little route over here on the near sideline, Oscar. But Walker Allen did one better and got in front and knocked it away.
Boy, Page can spin that ball. That was a great pass, too.
Just a flick of the wrist,
yes,
too.
Yes, it was. And it, he was in distress, too. He looked like he was going to be sacked. And at the last minute, just like you said, flick of the wrist, threw the ball 30 yards downfield. And Walker Allen did a nice job at the last minute breaking that play up. 2:02 remaining here, and the Colonels once again, big stop, holding this Appomattox high-powered offense to just 7 points here in the first half.
Another tip of the cap to the Colonels' defense. 2:02 left to play in the half. Appomattox will change their punt protection a little bit. They'll bring some guys in. Carter Jamerson is the punter, too. Now they got some guys in motion in the backfield.
And he does that rugby kick.
Yeah, he does. Rolls to his right, boots it away. Not a long one, but certainly very high. It'll land on the 45 and take a Raider bounce, stayed in bounds. Pretty interesting there. I mean, obviously you can't control it, but Oscar, this ball landed about 3 feet from the sideline, and it stayed in bounds, that 3-foot margin from the sideline, and traveled an extra 10 yards for the Raiders.
Yeah, 33-yard punt with no return. If those of you that are old enough remember punt, pass, and kick, that was like it was right on the line all the way down.
Yes,
and just
the boundary line.
Yeah, that's right.
Good stuff from Carter Jamerson. A lot of movement in that backfield for the Raiders. It was all legal. It happened before the snap, and then they had one guy in motion like you can. 2:02 left to play in the half. How hard and desperate do you think the Colonels will be to try and score, Oscar?
Well, they have to. Raiders have 3 timeouts still left. So
Raiders get the ball to start the second half, too. Adams wants to throw. Slant route, looking for Walker Allen. Allen got bumped at the 40. Now the flags come out. Even the official on the far side tried to do his best Matt Page impression and throw it all the way across the field. He got about halfway. This is going to be pass interference on the Appomattox Raiders, and a pretty good call there, too. The entire stadium saw it at the same time.
Quite honestly, Walker Allen had him beat.
Yeah.
Inside position, had about a step on him, and he just kind of stepped over in front of him. He had a right to get to the ball, but nice play by the Colonels, nice execution. And Devon Graves, who was the defender, certainly didn't like the call, but, hey, nice play by the Colonels.
Yeah, it was. It was a good design slant route on first down. They had the wide side of the field over there for Walker to work. Both teams have their full complements of timeouts with 1:59 left to play in the half. 7-0 Appomattox the score. Subway halftime show is going to feature some guests from the Altavista golf team. So be sure to stick around for that. Adams calls for the snap. Now he's got it. Hits Nelson Dews on the near sideline at the 48-yard line, the Appomattox 48-yard line. They're into Raider field territory. Not a big gain, but nice to see Nelson Dews get involved there with the hitch route, and Adams with a nice pass. We'll call it a 6-yard pickup.
The Colonels have 3 timeouts. That's a nice play. That's getting on schedule. 2nd and 4 now.
Altavista hurries to the offensive line. Adams rolls to his right, slings it out, caught by Chancellor Mormon. Mormon's across the 45, now brought down by a couple Raider defenders. Going to set up 3rd and 2, and we'll see. Yeah, the Colonels are going to use the timeout. I thought they might burn one there to talk about the play call. We'll talk about it, too, and give you a chance to catch your breath. 1:23 left to play in the half. 3rd and 2 coming up for the Altavista Colonels. They trail by 7 to the Raiders on 105.5 KD Country.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Virginia are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Brought to you by English Construction Company, with offices in Lynchburg.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
The Appomattox Raiders 7, the Altavista Colonels 0, but the Colonels have a chance to maybe make some noise here with 1:23 left in the half. I'm Kyle Haney. He is Agent Zero, Oscar Briggs. And Mr. Briggs, here's a couple questions for you here. We'll call it a 2-part question. What kind of play are you going to run here on 3rd and 2 for the Colonels? And if you don't get it, are you going for it on 4th down?
Boy, I don't think you can go forward if they don't get it. Maybe try for the hard count.
You'd give the Raiders a short field if you didn't
that's
get
right.
it on
And
4th
you
down.
don't. You give them a short field, and you're asking for trouble. And so, yeah, I don't think you can go for it. Certainly, with the way they're starting to throw the ball, it should loosen up that defensive line a little bit and give them something to think about, and may open an opportunity for Jonathan Montague or even Rick on the little delayed draw.
Yeah, you would think. 2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left, 1 tight end. Jake Adams is the quarterback. You threw me off. Hard snap count. I think he got a Raider to jump.
He did.
No call, though.
That's awful.
Adams looks back at the official. They snap it. They're going to run the play anyway. They swing it out to number 23. That's Josh McClure. McClure's got the first down and a little bit extra. Now he's getting stacked up at the 40-yard line by the Raiders defense. Nice job by the Colonels to persevere there. They got to feel like they got a little bit of a bad break on the no call. Adams looks at the official and says, "Boy, are you sure?" Decides to snap it anyway. They run the play. They pick up the first down. Good stuff.
Clock will stop as they reset the chains at the 40-yard line. line. Colonel's in business here, Kyle.
1:12 left to play. Clock turns over, restarts once they set the chains. Adams is looking at the sideline, checking on the play call from Coach Mike Sharnas. 65 seconds left to play in the half. Adams steps up, flushed out of the pocket. Now he's across the 35. Man tracked him down from behind and dropped him around the 33-yard line. Nice pickup. Colonel's not going to use a timeout just yet. Rolling clock continues to turn. 50 seconds left to play in the half. 7-0 Raiders on top. You can tell Altavista wants to score, Oscar, but they don't want to give Appomattox a whole lot of time with the football if they don't score. Trips receivers to the right. That's the wide side of the field. Adams catches, throws it backwards to Montague. Montague catches it and trucks it ahead to the 30-yard line.
That's going to be close enough to measure for a first down, or it will be a first down. The referees have stopped the clock.
Yeah, they stopped it at 28.3 seconds.
Coach Sharnas is out saying, hey, that's a first down, bud.
He is trying to do his best politician impression. It is enough for a first down. Colonels have used a timeout as well. We'll take the timeout with them. 30-second timeout here. Altavista driving with 28 seconds left in the half. They trail by 7 on 105.5 KD Country.
Some people have never tried food at a Mexican restaurant. So we asked Chad Shelton from Shelton's Plumbing and Heating about his experience.
I wasn't so sure what the green stuff was, but they slipped some on my plate one day, and now I won't have a meal without guacamole. Still can't spell it.
At El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, if you have questions, they give you the answers in English. Mexican and American foods, affordable prices, and fast service. Try it today. El Cazador, Main Street, Altavista.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
Yeah, timeout by the Altavista Colonels, and I think the clock might have started when the Colonels broke their timeout huddle. I don't know if the official made a signal or not. It's going to be 1st and 10. Let's tell you what we do know. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Altavista Colonels on the Raider 30-yard line. And you know Coach Sharnas wasn't exactly happy with the way they managed the clock in the Chatham game, Oscar. He brought that up to us. He felt like they should have at least got Walker Allen a field goal try at the end of that half at Chatham. I would assume this is going to be a similar situation. He wants to make sure if they don't score a touchdown, they get a chance to let Walker Allen use the right leg and try and get 3 points that way.
Yeah, and it looks like somebody might have used another timeout.
We'll keep it here. There was some confusion there all the way around. Coach Sharnas and the officials conferring. Now the officials just talking. They put 28.3 seconds on the clock. And I think Appomattox might have burned that timeout. Hard to know. Again, these officials, it's not like on TV where they get into the microphone and they tell you what's going on. Sometimes they signal. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they just assume that everybody else knows what's happening.
Well, we have the luxury of having the head official of all officials here making the calls tonight, Bobby Walker, down on the field. And anytime he's on the field or basketball court or whatever arena he's in, he's got full charge. And very knowledgeable, very good official.
Yeah, they're going to get the thing right. In all these cruises, we've said all year, the officials do a great job. It's not an easy job. And sometimes it looks obvious from where we're at, but we're sitting up high in the press box. You know, the officials have to see it as it happens. And you say, well, they're 5 feet away, but sometimes that's actually not the best angle to be right there.
And the week before last, we had the luxury of having Harold Drumheller up in the booth, and that certainly was a nice advantage to have to understand exactly what was going on the field for some situations that we don't ordinarily see.
That's right. Colonel's ready to go here. 1st and 10 after a couple timeouts. Adams gets the snap, passing play here. Drops back, looking to throw down far sideline. He's got Nelson Dews there. Oh, Nelly dove for it in the end zone, but just about a yard outside his outstretched arms. Give Nelson Dews a tip of the cap there. Full effort from number 24, Nelson Dews.
Nicely thrown ball, too. Either Nelson was going to catch that or nobody was. Again, tough play, but Rick threw a nice ball there. Nelson just not quite able to run under it.
Well, we got the golf guys coming on here at the Subway halftime show, and golf is a lot of times about knowing where to miss, and Jake has done a nice job with that. He's thrown it where it's a good place to miss, where Appomattox can't intercept it. 2nd and 10, passing play again. Pump fake by Jacob. Now he's flushed out of the pocket and down at the 42-yard line. Colonels will take another timeout. We'll take this timeout with them. 3rd and 15 coming up for the Altavista Colonels. 16 seconds left to play in the half. Altavista 0, Appomattox 7 on 105.5 KD Country.
No one knows trucks like we know trucks. Come see us and you'll agree. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC. Come on in. Bring the family, see your friends. Highview Motors, GMC. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC.
Here's more award-winning high school sports with Kyle and Oscar on 105.5 KD Country.
Award-winning high school sports coverage indeed on 105.5 KD Country. I'm Kyle Haney. He is Oscar Briggs. The Colonels are on offense, and they've got 16.6 seconds left to work in the half. Longer than 3rd and 15, Oscar. I misspoke. It's actually 3rd and 20. Colonels are going to snap this from the Appomattox 40-yard line. First down marker rest at the 20-yard line. See what the Colonels have in store here on a 3rd and long. And, again, same question. Will they go for it or not if they don't get it? Adams wants to pass. Holds the ball up momentarily. Finds Walker Allen at the 32-yard line. Allen sticks it ahead another yard, so we'll say he got to the 31. That'll make it 4th and 11. I think they're going to try a long Walker Allen field goal here. It looks like they're lining up in that formation, Big O.
He'll be kicking from, it looks like the 30, the 40. It'll be a 48-yarder. We've seen him kick them this far in warm-ups.
Yeah, he's certainly got the leg for it. Sometimes a little tougher to pull off in the games. You got to have the good snap and the good hold, too. 12.4 seconds left. Snap is good. Ball to the block. Allen boots it, and it was blocked. Jacob Adams is going to dive on it. He covers it up at the 45-yard line. That's going to be where the Appomattox Raiders take over. They've got 9.1 seconds left to work. Allen, with such a long kick, Walker Allen does have to drive that ball a little bit lower, and a lot of times that'll make it more susceptible to being blocked. And you certainly have to give the Raiders credit for getting up there and getting their hands up and swatting that ball down.
9 seconds left, and, of course, they've still got 3 timeouts. They've got a couple of opportunities. Jamerson with a booming leg as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you could.
Colonel's got to be careful here.
You could run maybe a quick out to a sideline or something, or not necessarily even a sideline.
Right.
Like you said, with 3 timeouts, you don't have to necessarily go to the sidelines. Colonels have 2 safeties working right now, Maulback and Adams, 3 down linemen. Matt Page has the offense set and ready to go. 2 receivers to each side here with 9.1 seconds left. They put a man in motion. They let him go through the formation. Page wants to throw left. Complete at the 49-yard line. Then they toss it back. The old hook and ladder play. They just ran out of room over there on the far sideline.
That's you bring up hook and ladder. There's been a huge debate about what that play is called.
What do you call it?
Well, I call it a hook and ladder,
okay.
But there's some purists that say it's a hook and lateral.
Yeah, that's true. Good point.
Yeah, but it was a nicely designed play, but it did not fool the Colonels.
It really didn't fool the Colonels. Altavista had nice coverage. 3 seconds left to play. They may add a second left on the clock maybe as we get a signal from the Altavista coaching staff. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Raiders. They're in Altavista field territory on the 44-yard line. Probably out of the range of even professional kickers here, so it looks like the Raiders are going to line up, maybe try the Hail Mary or maybe another one of those exotic plays here on what should be the last play of the half with 4 seconds left. Page ready to go in the shotgun formation. He's going to pass again. 4-man rush from the Colonels. Throws it out. Passes short and incomplete at the 25-yard line, and that will wrap up a very, very exciting half of football. Raiders lead 7-0. Subway halftime show on the way when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
Stay cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling on the ready to keep you comfortable year-round. Locally owned and operated, just a call away with over 20 years experience. Licensed and bonded. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, specializing in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical. Any season, anytime. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Give them a call today. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, Gretna.
prompt, confidential, professional. A-Town Bail Bonds, 434-401-0253. Local, reliable, available 24/7. A-Town Bail Bonds, 434-401-0253. When a friend or family member is arrested and jailed, call a professional. Call Chip Rourke and A-Town Bail Bonds, 434-401-0253. Get answers. Get help. A-Town Bail Bonds, 434-401-0253.
This broadcast is brought to you by the members of the Katy Country Sports Club.
Chef's Drive-In, where the shake machine is shaking and dozens of flavors to choose from.
One Stop Mart, where the gas is cheap, the beverages are cold, and the chicken is kicking.
El Cerrito Altavista. Throw on a sombrero, shake your maracas, it's El Cerrito time.
Altavista Medical and Oncology Massage Therapy. Broad Street can help relieve your pain.
Vista Foods Altavista, your hometown grocery with the freshest produce and best meats.
McDonald's in Altavista, committed to the community and bringing the world's favorite food.
Steve Farmer Auto Sales, Main Street Altavista, best deals on wheels.
Colonel's Football is brought to you by the Sports Club on KD Country.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway halftime show arrives here from English Stadium. Colonel's Trail 7-0 to the Appomattox Raiders, and told you we'd have some special guests from the Altavista golf team, and we didn't disappoint you. The Colonel's golf team with the second in the state runner-up finish, and I'm joined by Mr. Scooter Duff and Mr. Ethan Maddox. And guys, first off, thanks for stopping by. Let's start with the regular season. You guys had a great regular season campaign. You were rolling through everybody. Tell us about the regular season and what worked so well for you guys.
I think as a team, we just had some people step up when someone would go down, and we just found a way to win, just keep winning, beat some really good teams, including Appomattox and Chatham. A lot of those other teams, they were really good, but we just found a way to win.
That was Scooter Duff, ladies and gentlemen. Ethan, we'll pose this next one to you. Talk about the expectations coming into the year. Because you guys have been very successful the last couple years. Did you have a goal in mind, or was it the old take it one shot at a time routine?
I mean, honestly, the goal was just to do good throughout the season and then hopefully just go to the postseason and do good. But obviously we did go to the regular season and won every match, and it just so happened.
Yeah, you had a great regular season. We were talking about you during these halftime shows. Let's fast forward a little bit to the conference and the regional. There were no gimmies in there. You guys had to fight to get out of the conference, right, Scooter? I mean, maybe it wasn't as easy as you thought it would be.
No, I mean, we certainly didn't take anybody lightly, but some team, including like Luray, they kind of surprised us. They played really well, and then we didn't have our best round, but still fortunate to come in second and advance to regionals.
Yeah, and now you advance to the regionals. You finished second in the regionals. Talk about the emotions there, getting back to the state tournament. And then both of you guys talk about the state tournament a little bit.
Yeah, regionals, yeah, we had a pretty good round as a team there. And obviously getting to the state tournament's really exciting. A lot of excitement around that tournament, trying just to win a state championship. So we were really excited to play that tournament.
Ethan, you feel the same way? It was just a lot of good feelings and positive vibes all the way around?
Yeah, it was a good feeling. You know, we played good at regions, and we made it to states, and just so happened we came up short, but we still had a good time, and it's a good feeling.
Yeah, well, you guys are seniors. What takeaways from your career? I mean, obviously you feel great about it. Talk about the career maybe, and then what's next for both of you guys? College plans?
Yeah, it was a good 4 years for me, the golf team. We came a long ways, me and as a team. You know, we've improved a lot. The next step is hopefully going to Virginia Tech and applying somewhere and going to business.
Awesome. Scooter?
Yeah, with me being only a junior.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry. Did it make you feel old?
Oh, yeah, maybe just a little bit.
It's interesting because, you know, when you're a kid, when you're young like you guys, you want to be older, you know. But then when you get old like me and Oscar, we want to be young. So you always want what you can't have. Go ahead, though, Scooter. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but definitely looking forward to next year. I think we'll have another great team and looking to make another run at the state championship.
Well, that's awesome, and I think you guys have had so much success. It's something to be proud of. Your football fans, too, though. What'd you think about that first half?
I think they played good. I mean, Appomattox is a really good team, very talented. Only be down 7 is very good.
Ethan, quickly before we let you guys go here in the Subway halftime show, talk about the rest of the team a little bit, the golf team. Not that you don't feel like you have to name everybody, but mention some guys, like you said, that stepped up as the year went on for you guys.
I would say Brian Gillespie improved a lot from last year. He stepped up. He posted up some good scores for us, and say Matt Dowdy, Ethan Cogs, the other really improved and helped us out through the year to make us undefeated and then just make it to go to states, and then good season.
It was a good season, and you had different guys step up each night, and that's what makes each day, I should say. Golf's not played at night. Not yet, though. We'll get some lights out there. That'd be fun. Hey, guys, thanks for stopping by. Feel free. Come back anytime. We'll do it again. We'll take a time out here in the Subway halftime show. Colonel's Trail, 7-0 the Appomattox Raiders. You're hearing it all live on 105.5 KD Country.
Appo Auto Glass is your windshield repair and replacement center in Lynchburg. You get a free car wash with all windshields replaced in the shop. Appo Auto Glass wants the fans to enjoy the boys of fall this high school football season.
When I feel that chill, smell that fresh cut grass, I'm back in my helmet, cleats, and shoulder pad. Kings of the school, man, where the boys of fall.
Appo Auto Glass salutes the boys of fall.
Bank with the local team. Bank of the James on Main Street in Altavista. Stop by our office today to talk with Bobby Walker and his team of local bankers to learn about local banking with Bank of the James. We offer a full line of personal and business banking products and services, including online banking and bill pay, personal and commercial loans and lines of credit, and mortgage loans. Bank with the local team. Bank of the James. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Installing atrium vinyl replacement windows is like an investment in your home that can begin to pay dividends right away. You can save up to 30% or more on your home's heating and cooling costs. Add to your home's equity and add to its value by upgrading its looks and energy efficiency. Custom crafted atrium vinyl replacement windows. Invest in your home's future with English's.
English's is your complete home center.
Business 29 Altavista.
Finch and Bench Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
Life is full of opportunities to show someone we love them. One such opportunity is the funeral or memorial service. Finch and Finch helps you celebrate the relationships they shared and honors the memory of your loved one.
Finch and Bench Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving families since 1905.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Appomattox 7, Altavista 0. It's the Subway halftime show as the Altavista marching band serenades the crowd with their very good halftime routine. We talked about this once, Oscar, but the band is doing the music of Queen during their halftime show tonight, which is pretty cool. You know, you throw in a little Bohemian Rhapsody and some of that stuff. I mean, I like the old school marching band stuff too, but it's nice to kick it up a notch.
You can only take so much John Philip Sousa. You know, the old school bands in the 70s, you know, 76 trombones and all that stuff. That's all well and good, but, you know, hey, it's 2015.
It is. It's 2015. We're having a great time in 2015 and hope you're having a great time alongside. Nice job by the two members of the golf team, Ethan Maddox and Scooter Duff. For some reason, I kept thinking Scooter was a senior. My apologies to him.
He carries himself so well.
That's right.
He's
Such
so
maturity,
poised.
yes.
That's right.
Yes.
Must have learned that from his mother.
It could have been Robert Duff. His father is not paying attention right now. But, no, it was a good story after those guys were walking out. Robert and I played with those two guys before the season started. And, well, you know, let's be honest. Mr. Duff and I, we sort of put it on them a little bit, and we thought maybe that motivated them to a good season. They said, geez, we got beat by these two old guys.
Yeah, you might have done it at the beginning of the season. I guarantee you by the end of the year, you wanted no part of them.
I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. 6:18 left to go in the halftime show, so that's a little bit irrelevant. And then, of course, the teams will come out and warm up. Let's take it back to football for a little bit, Oscar. Again, one final congratulations to the golf team. State runner-up finish. Volleyball team continues to roll. They got two big wins this week. Football-wise, I don't think the Colonels should feel too bad about where they're at right now, and they're playing Appomattox a lot closer than anybody has, with the exception, of course, of Buckingham and Rustburg, who both lost 14-7 to the Raiders. Colonels are right there in this football game.
If recent history is any indicator, we'll see a heck of a second half. The Colonels have certainly the last 3 ball games played better in the second half. Not a ton of penalties in the first half. 1 turnover? So
more than one.
Let's see, Adams had
for the Colonels.
For the Colonels.
For the Colonels, it was just the one Adams fumble.
Right.
You're right.
So,
You're absolutely
they've
right.
limited their mistakes. Certainly not the false start, the illegal procedure penalties that we've seen Adams so far this year, and then, like I said, the 1 turnover that led to no points, really. So the Colonels have done a great job limiting their mistakes and leaving themselves the opportunity to stay in this ball game.
Yeah, you threw me off a little bit because the Colonels have gotten 2 turnovers on their side of the football. The 1 interception by Mateo Malbeck and then the fumble recovery by Mateo Malbeck. So the junior, Mateo Malbeck, is making his presence known on the defensive side. Very opportunistic, too. That fumble just kind of bounced into him, but he made the most of it. He held on.
We very well could be looking at a scoreless first half. That the play that they did score on came after a somewhat little bit of a controversial play that on 3rd down, Appomattox fumbled the ball about 2 yards short of the first down. It would have been 4th down. Now, they were in 2-down territory for sure because it was around the 10-yard line, but at any rate, it ended up being a no-play situation because the quarter had expired. Again, none of us saw that, and I'm sure Bobby Walker and that crew got it right.
Yeah.
But still, were it not for that play, we could be looking at a scoreless game.
Yeah, the officials came back later on and indicated that play did not get off in time before the first quarter ended. And you're right, it could be a 0-0 game if it was not for that. Raiders will get the football at halftime. Oscar and I will step aside for another brief moment here on the Subway halftime show. Hey, 3 great locations around town. Of course, Main Street, then also in the Walmart on Clarion Road, and then further up the road inside Foster Fuels on Route 29. Quick timeout for us. We'll bring it back with some second half thoughts. Tell you some scores from around the area as well. Appomattox leading Altavista 7-0. You're hearing it all live on 105.5 KD Country.
Hello, this is Jerry Miley from 1433 Altavista Moose Center. It's asking everybody to come on down and join us and see what the Moose is all about to help us support our Moose Heart, Moose Haven family. Anybody's welcome to come down and take a tour of our building and see what's going on. Come on down and we'll let you in and we can have some fun. We're looking forward.
Meet Jerry and the rest of the Altavista Moose family and become a member. The Altavista Moose Family Center on Lynch Mill Road.
Start your business on the winning drive with an Altavista revolving loan. It's an opportunity to score big for your company's future growth. Funds available up to $10,000. Loan rate 1% below prime. Huddle up with Altavista Economic Development Director Dennis Jarvis II at Altavista Town Hall. Make your move today. The Altavista Revolving Loan Fund encourages economic development and enhances community vitality.
Hey guys, this is Terrell Salmon at Best Bet Motor Sales. Stop wasting time running all over town to these car lots that advertise easy finance and easy credit. Come on by and see us here at Best Bet Motor Sales. We have guaranteed credit approval, low down payments, warranty on all vehicles, and vehicles more than affordable starting at only $59.95. You can check out our inventory at bestbetmotorsales.com. You can check out our weekly specials on Facebook. Or better yet, come on by and see us. Best Bet Motor Sales on 29 South.
This is 100% convenient mobile banking with local First National Bank.
With our FirstNet mobile app, you can securely check balances, make deposits, pay bills, transfer money, and much more.
It's easy to use, and we even have a video demo on our website at firstnetbk.com.
And it's free, so search FirstNet mobile app and download it for free today.
Remember, banking from anywhere, anytime will help you bring home more bacon.
First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway halftime show returns on KD Country. Raiders lead the Colonels 7-0. One other shout-out I do have to throw out, a very good friend of mine, Mr. Briggs. There's a good connection here between golf and Appomattox as well. my buddy Brandon Connor listening right now. And, of course, his father, Jerry Connor, he got inducted in the Appomattox Hall of Fame. Great golf family. That man has his golf has just transcended to a new level. No finer mental game around, I think. He should be the mental game coach to the Altavista golf team. He'd probably do it for free. And I know he did some physical therapy and some functional movement work with Scooter Duff, too.
Right.
Not that he would ever take credit for Scooter's success, but see, it all comes full circle with the Appomattox and the golf and the shout-outs. That's why you got to tune in.
That's, you 7 degrees of something.
Yeah, do I need, to do the whiteboard diagram up there, like the atomic bomb
No, what happened to
equations and
what
stuff?
happened to your whiteboard?
I think I should get another one. It worked out well last year. We actually were able to keep some of our thoughts somewhat focused, but we're having a fun time, of course. And Bob Alva says, don't tell them you're having a good time. Just show them you're having a good time. So,
well, I tell you who's having a good time. Like Mateo Malbach's having a good time. He's played with the guts of a burglar here the first half.
Another great saying. Mateo has played with the guts of a cat burglar this first half, though. He's playing well on offense and defense. We'll talk a little bit more about Mateo. Here's some scores for you. Dan River leads William Campbell 19-7 at halftime. Interesting score there, as the Colonels have yet to play either of those two ball clubs. Generals next week, Dan River last week of the season. Jefferson Forest leading Amherst 42-21. Our good buddies up at Perry McClure are scoreless at the half with James River. Believe Chatham and Nelson County were tied at halftime last I checked. And I'll check for a few more as I try and grab a few more of those, Oscar. Second half thoughts, adjustments, maybe sometimes it's not an adjustment, maybe it's just staying with what's working.
Well, I like the way that the Colonels moved the ball the last drive. Of course, Appomattox was in a little bit of a prevent defense, but the Colonels were able to move the ball, throw in some of those little flares, wide receiver, little wide receiver screens and
the
little
high
slant
percentage
patterns.
passes,
That's right.
yep.
No risk really. They paid off well, and certainly I hope that should loosen up some of that Appomattox defensive line.
Yeah, you would think. I mean, and that Appomattox defensive line is very talented. They can get in the backfield. I think on the passing plays, the Colonel's O-line has done a nice job for the most part of protecting Jake Adams and keeping him clean. The sack at the end of the half obviously is an exception, but for the most part, they've blocked well. Here's a couple other scores as you collect your thoughts. Heritage is up 7-6 over Rustburg at half. Brookville 23, Brookville 23, EC Glass, 0 at halftime. So the Bees up 3 full touchdowns and some change there. I wonder what the Raiders are thinking in their locker room. I wonder if they're thinking we're playing well or we should be up in this game by more than this. They have not underestimated Altavista, I can assure you that. Appomattox knew this was going to be a tough game themselves.
Well, that's right, and they've had a couple of big turnovers that they have not been played with so far this year, and some of that goes to the Colonels, the way the Colonels are playing defense. They're hitting hard and really flying to the ball, so you got to credit them for that as well.
You do. Appomattox is good offensively. They're good defensively. Hey, they're pretty good on special teams, too. They're a well-rounded ball club. They've done a nice job tonight, and maybe they would like to be up more than 7-0, but I'm betting there's a few Raider fans and a few on that coaching staff that feel fortunate to be up 7-0 right now. We'll take another quick timeout here in the Subway halftime show. Third quarter on the way when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
Unfortunately, I have some bad news.
How bad is it, Doctor?
We've done all we can. Your heat pump's not gonna make it.
Oh, no.
Honey, it's going to be okay. We'll call Select Air Mechanical and Electrical, 332-2600. With over 60 years experience, they'll have us comfortable again in no time.
I recommend Select Air to all my patients. Call 332-2600 or visit selectairmechanical.com. They can handle all your home comfort needs, and they're an authorized trained dealer. It's hard to stop a train.
It's a good show, man.
Man, that was awesome.
Loud crowd. Oh, house salad time.
I'll bring it on.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're gonna have to do the encore tonight, buddy.
No, they want to see your face.
They're chanting your name.
Not it, man. They're saying Brett.
Well, I'm taking this with me.
No. I'll hold it for you.
Seriously, don't touch my salad.
Time for my encore now, son.
The house salad. Grilled chicken atop mixed greens, cucumbers, Roma tomatoes, cheddar and jack cheeses, and fried onions.
served with Texas toast. Zaxby's, indescribably good.
Zaxby's, Wards Ferry Road, Lynchburg.
The Village Barbershop, an old-school 1960s-style barbershop offering classic and current cutting techniques for gentlemen and boys. No appointment necessary. Responsible pricing in a clean family environment. Village Barbershop, open Tuesday through Friday, 8 to 6, Saturdays till noon. Stop by and see Danny Barber at Village Barbershop, serving Altavista and surrounding areas from 619 Broad Street. Give them a try.
A short drive will save you money.
In the market for a new Chevrolet? Fellers Chevrolet.
FellersDirect.com.
For a huge selection of new Chevrolets and pre-owned vehicles, it's Fellers Chevrolet.
FellersDirect.com.
FellersDirect.com. Selection. Convenience. Fellers Chevrolet.
Fellers Chevrolet.
Always open and only a click away.
FellersDirect.com.
A short drive will save you money. Fellers Chevrolet in Alta Vista.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
A fast start to the second half sees the Appomattox Raiders take a short kick, a kick that bounced on about the 25-yard line back for a very good return, Oscar. They'll set up shop in Alta Vista field territory at the Colonel 22-yard line.
Buster Henderson on the return.
Wow.
One of the few times in the last couple of years that I can remember seeing a Cliff Lee coach defense, a special team kick coverage break down and not stay in their lanes.
Buster Henderson fielded that ball on the one hop and got a pretty good head of steam. Bunch formation, or tight package anyway, for the Raiders on first down. Running back is Fleshman. He is swallowed up at the 20-yard line. Guess who? The big cat, Dante Poindexter. He's helping the opponents up off the turf. Now he helps his own guy up off the turf. That was Mateo Malbeck helping out on the tackle.
Well, again, Dante Poindexter, such a force, just bear hugs the guy and brings him down.
They gave Fleshman a yard and a half. I said bunch formation. It's really just a two tight end formation for Appomattox and then some blocking backs with it. No wide outs. Everybody's packed in tight. Almost foot-to-foot splits up there. Two split backs. They hand it to Fleshman again. He's through the hole this time. Cut down by Mateo Malbeck. Malbeck continuing to play well from that safety spot, but he just got to him about 5 yards too late. We'll call it a 5-yard pickup. Make it 3rd and 2 coming up for the Raiders.
The bad thing about it when you're having Mateo Malbeck making a ton of tackles is they're getting through the first two, getting through the defensive line into the linebacker core, and Mateo's at safety is having to make the tackles.
That's exactly
Although he is
right.
very aggressive and
Sure.
getting up and almost into a corner or linebacker position, it's still not good to have your safety making that many tackles.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword for sure. 3rd and 2 coming up. Page takes his time, looking over the defense. He's still standing tall. Split back veer running backs right behind him. Now he's set in the crouch, ready to go. Long snap count. Might have drawn the Colonels offside. Nope. Page going to keep it himself. Quarterback keeper. He jumps up in the hole. He jumps up in the end zone. Matt Page with a nice run. A 14-yard rushing TD. He was initially looking just for the first down, but the way the hole opened up, he darted through it, and there was nobody there to stop him in the second level. Colonels really sold out to stop the first down, and Page got it in the end zone. 13-0 now. Appomattox on top. Extra point on the way from Carter Jamerson.
Boy, nicely designed play, nice execution. Colonels had nothing to stop that. Page with a nice run.
10:19 left to play in the Select Air third quarter. Here's a snap, little low, gets to the block. Jamerson got a good leg on it. Right-footed kicker's boot is good. 14-0. Appomattox scores on the opening drive of the second half. 10:19 left to play in the third when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
TCM Industrial Services recognizes the importance of high school athletics by sponsoring this award-winning broadcast. TCM Industrial Maintenance and Construction Specialist providing welding, millwright, erection, and fabrication services to all forms of industry throughout the Mid-Atlantic region from offices in Alta Vista. TCM Industrial Services wishes Coach Chartis and the Alta Vista football team a safe and successful season. Go Colonels!
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
10:19 left to play in the Select Air third quarter. A 14-yard rushing touchdown from Matt Page gives the Appomattox Raiders a 14-0 lead. Kickoff kind of caught the Colonels coverage team by surprise, caught the broadcasters a little bit by surprise. It gave them great field position, and then it took 3 plays for them to get in the house for 6 points. Comes Jamerson on the run up for the kickoff. More of a line drive, sideways kick, fielded on the bounce by Mateo Malbeck. Malbeck had to reach up and gather it. He's across the 15, now to the 20. Chopped down, spun around to the turf at the 24-yard line. That's where Altavista will scrimmage from their first time seeing the football on the offensive side in this second half, Oscar.
Yeah, that was a nice kick by Jamerson. Bounced high. Mateo had a little bit of trouble getting his hands on it, but once he did, made a nice little run back and secured the ball, which was key. Colonels have got to move the ball here, Kyle.
Colonels could really use a good drive that takes up some times and ideally leads to some points, but certainly you're right. They need to hold on to the football and hopefully make some headway. Jacob Adams, a sophomore quarterback, ready to go for the Colonels. He wants to throw on first down. Pump faked and nearly lost the football. Now he's flushed out of the pocket. Now the football is out. It kind of squirted out and went out of bounds.
He was down.
He was down. The ball's resting in the third lane of the track right now. It was an odd little play. Now there's a flag down at the point of the tackle. They're going to call Jacob Adams for intentional grounding. They're going to call Jacob Adams for intentional grounding. I didn't think he tried to throw the ball. I thought he was squirted out like a
No, he did try to throw the ball. He was already down.
Okay.
It should.
Odd play there for sure. Adams kind of lost it once on the initial pump fake. He held it up high, kind of had it over his helmet, and he gathered again. Then he took off as he felt the rush. He was flushed out to the left side numbers. That's where he got bottled up, and that's where the football came out. It's second and real long. We'll call it 2nd and 25 for the Colonels. They need to get to the 34-yard line. Handoff play goes to Jonathan Montague. Montague lowers his shoulder, hit hard right around the 14-yard line. He's dropped there. 6-yard pickup. Set up 3rd and long for the Colonels.
Yeah, 3rd and about 18, 17, and just need to be careful here.
Yeah, we talked about you'd like to have a long, sustained drive and get some points, but after that situation, you sort of have to regroup. And then, like you said, you got to be careful. You don't want to just fire it up and give Appomattox a free football here. Raiders, 3 down linemen in the 3-4 defense. Outside backers look like they're showing blitz. Middle guys will drop off. Passing play, not on the same page. Adams threw the ball. It looked like he was thinking Nelson Dews was going to run the 5-yard hitch route. Nelson just kept going down the near sideline. Ball goes incomplete into the Altavista bench, and now the Colonels are going to be forced to punt with 9:23 left to play in the third. They trail 14-0.
Yeah, another 3 and out, and lost about 8 yards on that. So Walker Allen out to punt. He's counting off the yardage, making sure he gets right for the snap.
His heels are going to be resting on the 1-yard line, so very much in the shadow of their own goal post. Appomattox showing a heavy rush again on the punt. Snap is back, very good. Walker gets off a nice clean kick. High hanging ball will get fielded with a fair catch on the 49-yard line by Trey Walker. Raiders will take over there. Their second time touching the football in this second half is pretty good field position. They're still in Altavista territory here on the Colonel 49-yard line. They lead 14-0.
35-yard punt, no return. Again, Walker was able to turn that ball over about as well as they could have done on that exchange, Kyle.
Yeah, really, considering the field position and the heavy rush that Appomattox is bringing, that's actually a pretty good result for Walker, Allen, and the Colonels. Bunch formation again, tight formation rather for the Appomattox Raiders. 2 tight ends, looks like an unbalanced line to the left. They'll hand it off to Fleshman. Fleshman turns the corner, he's got some room to run. He's across the 35, now down to the 30 and the 26-yard line. Philip Fleshman, the off-tackle running, just darted his way into the hole there, and with great speed and acceleration, he was 10 yards deep in the blink of an eye.
It absolutely was, and continued to roll, and Colonels had no answer. Offensive line here of Appomattox is starting to impose its will on the Colonels.
Absolutely. Unbalanced formation again to the left. 2 tight ends to that side. They give it to Fleshman again. Same exact play. Not as big of a gain on the result, but still enough for a first down. An 11-yard rushing play there on first down for the Raiders and their dynamic junior tailback, Philip Fleshman, 5'9", 165 pounds.
I don't know what Coach Smith said to that Appomattox team at halftime, but they certainly are inspired. and playing flawless football coming out of the half.
Unbalanced line to the left again. They got a blocking back over there as well. Man moved in the backfield. Now the flag comes out. That blocking back for Appomattox just sort of hesitated and flinched. It'll be a loss of 5 yards on the illegal procedure penalty. Oscar, this formation, there's only a guard and tackle to the left of Matt Page. Everybody else is to the right of Matt Page. I'm sorry. Everybody else is to the left. So there's 6 linemen over there to the left, just 2 linemen to the right, and the blocking back is over there as well. The split backs are set up right behind Matt Page. They're 5 yards deep in the backfield. Same formation, unbalanced left. Page hands it off to Fleshman again. Same play. Outside left tackle. He's hit and then bounced around. Got it past the original line of scrimmage. 6-yard pickup as he's dropped over there on the far side numbers.
Matt Aiken on the stop.
Now say he gets it to the 15-yard line, it looks like. Maybe just inside of it, 14.5 if you want to be specific. 8:24 left to play in the Select Air third quarter. It's a 14-0 Appomattox lead. They're knocking on the door for some more. Colonel's defense is really going to have to come up with something big here, Oscar.
And you got to believe they're probably in 4-down territory here as well, leading 14-0. And although Jamerson's got a leg that's certainly adequate to get it in from here, you got to believe they're in 4-down territory if it comes to that.
Yep. This is a balanced line now. You got one tight end to the right. Page is going to run that way. Option play right. Got the ball out. Keeps it himself. Turns it up the alleyway around the right hash mark. Hit by Andres Diaz-Escura. Also Mateo Mall back there. It's a solid pickup, though, and it's going to set up what looks to be 3rd and 2 for the Appomattox Raiders.
Yeah, you're right. That's the first time they've gone with a balanced line this half. And nice job by that right side of that offensive line, making the surge and allowing him to get down with a 3rd and 2.
7.5 minutes to play in the third quarter. Raiders lead 14-0. 3rd and 2 coming up for the visiting team, the Appomattox Raiders in the white road jerseys with the silver helmets. This time it looks like unbalanced line to the right. Page calls the snap count, hands it off. Fleshman running right into the end zone. Touchdown. Pardon me, that's number 6, Trey Walker on the touchdown. He's in the house from 7 yards deep. That makes it a 20-0 lead for the Appomattox Raiders. They're starting to roll now, Oscar.
Yeah, they're like we said, they are absolutely imposing their will, blowing huge holes in this Colonel's line, and just executing their game plan extremely well now.
Carter Jamerson on for the extra point again. The holder is number 3, Deshaun Thomas. That scoring play comes with 7:13 left in the Select Air third quarter. Extra point snap on the way, a little low, gets to the block. Jamerson swings the leg, and it's good. 21-0. Appomattox on top. Colonels aren't out of it yet, but they got to hurry. 7:13 left to play in the third quarter on 105.5 KD Country.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical Virginia high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too.
Brought to you by English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
Raiders led 7-0 at halftime. They've scored twice about halfway through this third quarter. They lead 21-0. I'm Kyle Haney. He is Agent Zero, Oscar Briggs. And Briggs, I said the Colonels need to hurry. Maybe not hurry, but they've got to get something going. They can't have many more drives end up in a punt and expect to have a chance in this game.
Certainly can't continue to have 3 and outs and expect to win this ball game.
Here comes the run-up and the boot from Carter Jamerson. It'll get fielded again by Mateo Malbeck on the run there at the 12-yard line. Mateo across the 20 to the 25, stuck hard at the 28 and dropped there. Big hit. Mateo pops up. He's fine. And the Colonels will scrimmage from their own 28-yard line, left hash mark. 7:07 left to play in the Select Air third quarter. It's a 21-0 Appomattox advantage.
Give a shout out to Daniel Baldwin, number 54 for Appomattox on that play, who was the one that really laid the lumber on Mateo Malbeck.
Seems like we've called a bunch of names for Appomattox too, Oscar. I mean, they have got talent really at every position. There are very few weak links on this Appomattox Raider ball club, if there are any. I don't know that we've identified them just yet. Colonel's ready to go. 2 receivers right, 1 receiver left, blocking back in the game, set up behind right guard. Adams wanted to run there. He couldn't get there, and the ball came out. Football came out. Raiders have it. There's a big pile at the 25-yard line. I'm pretty sure this is Appomattox football. That ball seemed to come out right as the quarterback, Jacob Adams, got hit. Yeah, Raider football at the Altavista 25. So things weren't looking real pretty for the Colonels. They just went bad to worse right there with that fumble and then the subsequent recovery by the Raiders.
Boy, the kickoff really set the tone for the half. Appomattox is just really, really pouring the coal on now.
We're seeing they're as good as advertised now. Colonels played great in the first half, and probably admittedly Appomattox had 1 or 2 miscues they'd like to have back, the 2 turnovers, definitely. But now it seems like the Raiders have kicked it into another gear. Page, bootleg play, rolls out to his left. He's throwing deep, looking for the end zone. He's got Henderson knocked away there. Good coverage by Nelson Dews. Good recovery by Nelly. It looked like Buster Henderson had a full 3 or 4 yards on him, and Nelly closed the distance and knocked it away.
And that was a well-thrown ball, too. Nelson just did a great job of recovering. He was about 3 steps behind Buster Henderson, but closed really well. Got his head turned around, was able to get a hand on the ball. Nice job defended by Nelson on that play.
Well, we loved what Matt Page did on the basketball court, and certainly we've seen Page on the gridiron in years past. He's kind of had to split some time at the quarterback spot in years past, and he's played some other places. But, man, have you seen a better quarterback as far as throwing the ball and being able to run the ball? I mean, obviously we saw Juan Thornhill for a while, but this Matt Page is right up there with the best I've seen.
Well, Jones from Rustburg certainly comes to mind immediately, but Page is as good as anybody we've seen.
Yeah, good call. Page under center, ready to go, 2nd and 10. This time they will hand it off. Right tackle, that's Trey Walker again. He's hit and dropped. Mateo Mall back there on the stop at the 22-yard line. Looks like Walker's going to come out for a breather, maybe just change positions. Yeah,
they just keep running athlete after athlete after. You know, Fleshman, Walker. They've just got such a stable of kids that can just continue to just perform athletes.
They keep coming after you. Unbalanced line to the left. That's the wide side of the field. 3rd and 5. Page turns around, hands it off to Deron Kelso. Kelso's close to the first down marker, but he didn't get it. Now shoved backwards. Here comes a flag into the pile. Agent Zero, Oscar Briggs, thinks it's a hold, and he's absolutely right. Penalty is going to go against the Appomattox Raiders. He did not get the first down marker, so if you're the Altavista Colonels, you could contemplate maybe declining this penalty. I think they're going to take it, yeah. It's going to remain 3rd down, but it'll make it probably close to 3rd and 15.
Yeah, it's a spot foul, and like you said, it's going to be about 3rd and 14, 3rd and 14, 3rd and 15, and first time we've seen them in a long position this half.
Yeah. 3rd and 15, we'll call it. 6:11 left to play in the Select Air 3rd quarter. It's a 21-0 Appomattox advantage. They have not gone from the shotgun spread at all in the second half. It's been ground and pound, rough and tumble football for the Raiders. Unbalanced line to the left. Page calls a snap count. Looked like maybe a reverse play coming.
Not Matt Aiken.
Colonel stuffed it out. Matt Aiken just dumps Matt Page to the turf. Great job by Aiken. Great anticipation. Page is having a conversation with some of his own players. I think somebody might have messed up a play. That's going to make it 4th and super long. 4th on a bus ride, as Oscar would call it. It's at least 4th and 25. Might be closer to 4th and 27.
Yeah, that's a good call, Kyle. And that was a favorable spot at that for Appomattox. So nice job by the Colonels' defense there. Matt Aiken, again, the whole right side of that Colonels' line was having no part. That play did not fool them at all.
It's a big play as far as momentum goes. And, you know, if Appomattox scores there and makes it 28-0 with just over a quarter to play, the game's probably over. Now at 21-0, Colonels still have a fighting chance. Good high-hanging kick from Carter Jamerson on the rugby punt. Mateo Malback calls the fair catch at the 5. Fields cleanly there. Colonels will start inside again their own 5-yard line in the shadow of their own goalpost.
Yeah, and Cliff Lee's going to have a conversation on that one.
Probably wanted Mateo Malback to let that ball bounce, and you hope it goes into the end zone. You take your chances. I mean, if Appomattox gets there and downs it, then tip your cap. But
the rule of thumb is, if you look at Cliff Lee's body language, he's not real happy. The rule of thumb is anything inside the 10, you let it go and take your chances with the ball going into the end zone. But it is what it is at this point. 5:02 remaining here in the third quarter. Colonel's trailing 21-0, starting at their own 5.
Yeah, Colonels can't do anything about the past here. Let's see what Jacob Adams does. He's got 2 receivers each side. He wants to throw from his own goal line. Complete out there to Chancellor Mormon at the 5. Mormon tried to escape the grasp of number 18, Dre Christian, I think it was, that rodeoed him down to the turf.
Looked like Chancellor couldn't quite get his feet under him. He had a little bit of room to run. If he could have gotten his feet under him, he might have had enough room to get to the first down marker, but again, just couldn't quite get his feet under him.
I beg your pardon. I think it was Devin Dews there that had the big right hand on Chancellor Mormon. Yeah, it's a gain of 1.5 for the Colonels. 2 receivers each side again. They'll snap this from their own 7-yard line, left hash mark. 4.5 minutes left to play in the third. Long snap count for Jacob Adams. Now he finally gets the football. Receives it well, steps back, throws.
Wide
big
open.
Arm. He's got Allen open. He just overthrew him. Allen was running down full stride, the right hash mark. Ball lands on the 42-yard line. Allen was standing on the 40-yard line.
Jake got hammered on that play as well.
Yeah, he did. He does not look to be in good shape. He's going to hop up. He's hobbling off the field. He's running to the sideline. And you would suspect maybe it's some kind of a lower body injury, but he is running. He's on his own 2 feet.
It looks a lot like a cramp.
Yeah, he's over there discussing with Altavista trainer Angela Emerson right now. I believe you're going to see Mateo Malback run the show at the quarterback here. It's a 3rd and 8 situation. Colonels are still very dangerous with Mateo Malback at the QB spot. He's got the offense ready. 3 receivers to his right. The running back is to his right. Colonels took too long. Delay a game penalty. That'll back Altavista up 5 yards. That means they're going to snap this one, Oscar, on their own 2-yard line, it looks like.
Yeah, half
maybe
the
the 3. Yeah, good point.
Supposed to be half the distance.
Yeah, it looks like they've got it on the 3. It'll change the situation to, we'll say, 3rd and 12.
Yeah, they stepped off 5. Bobby Walker stepping in and saying, no, it is half the distance to the goal. So they are correct in that.
Yeah. Moved it up about a yard. Malback, same formation. Running back is to his right. 1 lone wide out to the left. They hand it off to Johnny Montague. Montague trying to go up the middle. He's across the 5 to the 6, thrown down around the 7. Conservative play call there for the Colonels, but I can't say that I blame him when you're that far backed up and you've got your backup QB in. Clock continues to turn. 3:57 left to play in the third quarter. Colonels trailing 21-0 to the Appomattox Raiders. Appomattox slated to get the football back here on another Colonel punt. Colonels didn't punt at all last week, Oscar. We were very impressed with that. Not the case here this week against Appomattox.
Once again, Colonel's short a player. Play clock down to 7, 6.
Yeah, Adams is also the up back, the blocking back in that punt formation. They get it off with 2 seconds to spare. Allen kicks it away. Rush was coming from Appomattox. Dews is down there, and Dews hit the return man hard. Football's out. Nelson Dews caused the fumble. Do the Colonels have it, though? Big mass of bodies at the 48. Traquan Farmer comes out of the pile with it. Traquan Farmer on the recovery. Nelson Dews on the hit. Great stuff there from the Colonels. Much needed, too, Oscar. Again, it gives them some life in this game. They still trail 21-0, but it gives them some life.
I don't know if our friends from WSET are still here with the camera, but if that might make the trifecta. Boy, Nelson Dews had a beat on him and probably laid off a little bit because he could have hurt him.
I think so. I think Nelson Dews timed it up perfectly, though. He slowed down, you're right, for just a second, not even a second, probably a tenth of a second, to allow the return man to catch the ball. He didn't want to hit him too soon. Jacob Adams, the sophomore, is back in there at quarterback.
Tough kid.
And he is barking out instructions to both sides of his offensive unit. 2 receivers on each side from the middle of the field. Wants to throw on first down. Complete to Walker Allen around the 42-yard line. Colonels are in Raider field position. Allen still on his feet. He made some guys miss. The Raiders thought he was just going to trot it out of bounds. And he stayed on his feet, cut it back inside for an extra yard or 2.
He made a move on Buster Henderson. Buster Henderson ran all the way over to the track, never hit anybody.
Chains move for Altavista. 12-yard pickup on the first down, pitch and catch from a resilient, tough sophomore Jacob Adams to a very athletic and also resilient senior Walker Allen. 1st and 10 from the far hash mark. Just under 3 minutes to play in the third quarter, so still time. Colonels do trail 21-0. Passing play again. Adams wants to throw to the left. He's got Josh McClure. McClure dives forward across the 30. Big applause from the Colonel crowd. They appreciate the hustle and the effort. That's a 9-yard pickup on first down. I think he's still short of the first down marker, isn't he, Oscar? Yeah.
Yeah. But, hey, 2nd and 2 beats 2nd and 11, 10.
Which is what the Colonels have had a bunch of times tonight. Adams has got the team back to the line. They're ready to go again. Colonel's not in a true hurry-up offense, but they're not taking their time either. He's going to move Montague from his right side over to his left side. Adams steps into the snap. Left tackle moved early. And
that's a good thing, probably.
Yeah, the snap was not handled cleanly by Jacob Adams. Flags came out a little late. That's been multiple times we've seen that, Oscar, to where the refs have got it right, but they've just taken some time getting the flag out.
Well, the way that snap was handled, it was about an 8-yard loss because he went down to pick it up. He was on his knee.
Yeah. Now it's a 5-yard loss.
It would have been
right.
third and about 9. Now it's just 2nd and 8.
That's right.
2nd and 7.
That's right. You could never script that or anything, but when it works out, you're sort of happy.
Certainly that play gave the Colonels a little bit of confidence, and they're starting to play with looks like they've got, again, a little bit of confidence now.
Raiders are showing blitz. They bring the outside backers. Adams wants to throw down far sideline. Nice tight spiral hanging up. There was some jockeying between Walker Allen and the defender over there on the far sideline. I believe it was Devin Dews. Probably could have made a case that there was some pass interference, but there was certainly give and take both ways.
Sure, that was a good play.
3rd and 7 coming up for the Colonels. They trot back to the line of scrimmage. 1:48 left to play in the Select Air third quarter. 21-0. Appomattox on top. Remember Select Air for all your home comfort needs. Plumbing, heating and air, the whole 9 yards. They're at selectairmechanical.com. Here comes the third down play. Adams catches a snap, throws, intercepted. He's picked off at the 35-yard line. Raiders going the other way. Adams is going to try and make the tackle. He does. That is number 3, Deshaun Thomas, that stepped in front of the out route, made the grab. He bobbled it just slightly momentarily, but then took it down for a nice return. Raiders are in Altavista field territory again, Oscar.
Yeah, that was a nice play, nice route, but Jake may have telegraphed a little bit. That was his primary receiver, never looked him off, and nice job by Appomattox reading that and making the interception.
Colonel's defense will trot back out on the field. A lot of guys are on the offensive unit, obviously, so 7 or 8 of them just stay on the field. Now, Appomattox, they had such success in this third quarter with the tight package, with the jumbo package. Now they're going to go back to the spread. Page wants to throw. Quick hitter, inside grab on the left seam there. Receiver is brought down at the 39-yard line by Mateo Malbeck. That was number 7, Dre Perkins, on the grab. That's the other thing with Page, Oscar. He spreads it around. His favorite receiver is the open receiver.
Well, and there's not a bad choice.
Sure.
He's got a boatload of weapons.
Yeah, they're all about 6'2" or 6'3", 190 pounds. They all run well. Passing play again. Page pump fakes. He's throwing far sideline. Hangs it up. It's complete. Caught by Deshaun Thomas over there on the far sideline.
Boy, that was in between the corner and the safety. That was just a great throw. Absolutely nothing the Colonels could have done in there. The coverage was decent. They just found the seam and exploited it. Great play. Great throw. Nice route.
I mean, for a guy that really, his first full year of starting at quarterback, he is very polished back there. And the offensive line does a nice job giving him time to throw. You can't leave them out.
Well, it's a wall.
1:05 left to play in the third quarter. A long third quarter. We've seen a lot. Page wants to throw again. Dumps it off to his running back. Ball hit the ground. They'll say it's an incomplete pass. If it was a lateral or a backwards pass, he could have picked it up on the bounce and kept going. But they said it was forward and incomplete. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
It looks like from the yellow line it was a forward pass.
See, that's the thing, though. Young kids, they weren't around when there was no yellow line. So sometimes when they go to football games in person, they do wonder where the yellow line is. And mom or dad or grandpa or grandma has to say, no, that's just on TV. And on radio, there's not one either, surprisingly enough. Appomattox moving left to right on your radio dial. 59 seconds left to go in the third. Page wants to pass again. Looking to the end zone. Incomplete. Overshot his man just a little bit, and Oscar is right. There's a flag down in the Raider backfield.
Somebody had a hold of Dante Poindexter and just absolutely did what Dante's been doing to ball carriers all night long. They wrapped him up and threw him down. Had a handful of jersey.
Sometimes that's the only way to stop the big cat is to just tackle him. That's going to make it second and probably 20, Oscar, right around that. Raiders lead 21-0. I mentioned this third quarter taking a while. It's been a lot of exciting action on both sides. Some frustrating moments on both sides, too, for sure. Raiders have scored 14 points in this third quarter. But somehow, seemingly, the Colonels are not out of it just yet. Colonels have turned it over some themselves.
Both of those scores came early in the third quarter, and since then the Colonels have kind of buckled down a little bit. And in the same token, Appomattox is trying some different things. They had so much success with that stacked line.
Yeah, it's interesting. They were really pounding the Colonels up front with that bunch formation, that jumbo package, and now they've went away from it. Shotgun formation here. Page has 3 receivers. He wants to throw to one of them. Steps up in the pocket to avoid the rush. Throws on the run. Pass hangs up. Oh, and the receiver got hit hard by Mateo Malbeck. Held on to the grab, though. That was Buster Henderson right at the original line of scrimmage, the 19. Nice job holding on to it after a hard lick from Mateo Malbeck.
It's going to be interesting when the stats come out on later this weekend exactly how many tackles Malbeck has had.
Oh, yeah, that is going to be interesting. We'll ask Coach Sharness and Coach Revis. The passing numbers for both of these teams are going to be interesting. Matt Page had completed 40 passes coming into this game. He's completed at least 15 or 20 tonight. Wants to throw again. Flushed out of the pocket and dropped. He's not going to get a chance to throw. That's Jonathan Montague on the sack. Montague brought him down at the 24-yard line. Good job by Jonathan Montague. We talked about Dante Poindexter changing positions. Well, Montague has done the same thing, too. We have run out of time in the third quarter. Fourth and final frame in regulation on the way when you come back. Appomattox leads Altavista 21-0. It's all live on 105.5 KD Country.
Good food, low prices, and great service keep customers coming back for more day after day at El Cazador Mexican Restaurant in Altavista. El Cazador is now open all afternoon, so you can come by anytime, any day, 11 a.m. till 10 p.m. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, a great place to unwind and relax with friends. Open 7 days a week, Main Street, Altavista. El Cazador thanks you for your business.
Here's more award-winning high school sports with Kyle and Oscar on 105.5 KD Country.
3 solid quarters of football for the Appomattox Raiders gives them a 21-0 lead. If you joined us late, it was 7-0 at halftime. A very, very closely contested first half of football. Raiders had about 8 minutes there, Oscar, where they were really dominating. And then Altavista pulled back even. Colonel's got some momentum with a fumble recovery. And it seems like at the moment, maybe Appomattox has snatched that momentum back. We'll see, though. If the Colonels could get another stop here and keep Appomattox out of the end zone, it's a 4th and long. And it's not going to be keeping the Raiders out of the end zone. It's going to be keeping the field goal points off the board. Raiders are going to try the long kick here from Carter Jamerson.
They're calling illegal procedure. I mean, it's...
The official is kind of waving. Now
they're all doing illegal procedure. I don't know what the deal is. But anyway, 41-yard field goal.
That's right. Here comes Carter Jamerson on the kick. He's been good on the extra points. Snap is back, a little low. Kick has the distance, and it is no good. Kick is no good from Carter Jamerson and the Appomattox Raiders. So another time that you probably have to tip the cap to the Altavista defense. I mean, Appomattox got that football after the interception with good field position. Colonel's defense holds.
Yeah, Jamerson had plenty of leg on that, just kind of hooked it a little bit. He was able to get it up over the rush from the Colonels. And as we learned in high school football, it's the ball crosses the plane on the kick. It comes out to the 20, so, nothing lost really there for Appomattox.
Yeah, no, not a bad call from Coach Doug Smith to try it, and certainly Carter Jamerson had the distance. He's got the leg for it, just hooked it a little bit. Adams back on the field. Blitz coming. He'll hand it off on a nice little delay there from Jonathan Montague, the old tailback delay there. It looked like it might have been a passing play. He waits, and then he sticks it in the gut of number 2 there, Jonathan Montague. 5-yard pickup on first down for the Colonels.
Well, and Jake did a nice job of selling that too.
Yeah.
Really, went back and it sold the pass play. And Jonathan did a good job. He did a good job getting the ball into Jonathan's gut and letting Jonathan run the ball for a nice pickup.
Trips receivers to the right side of the formation. Running back is there as well. Low snap scooped up. Adams wanted to pass. Now he's got to run it. He's got some room. He's across the 35, across the 40. Hesitation move at the 45. Flushed out of bounds on the far sideline into the Appomattox bench. And Adams pops up with some spring in his step. A nice gain right there from Jacob Adams. A full 25-yard pickup on second down for the Altavista Colonels.
Yeah, nice play, nice decision by Jake. Nice transition by that offensive line going from pass blocking to blocking downfield to allow him to get that far.
Good call. They sensed it, and some of them probably saw it out of the corner of their eye, and then they got out in front and blocked. 3 receivers to the right again. This time the running back is Montague. He is to the left. Adams huffing and puffing a little bit, catches the low snap, hands it off to Montague. Montague's got some room, lowers the shoulder, and dropped at the Appomattox 45-yard line. So the Colonels into Raider field territory again. Not many trips on this side of the 50 for Altavista in this game, Oscar.
Well, and this is a huge drive for the Colonels. Just, the ball game just may have already been decided. Trailing 21-0, Appomattox has really had control, but this is big for the psyche of these young Colonels.
2nd and 3 coming up for Altavista. Low snap. Adams picks it up off the ground, wants to throw. It was nearly intercepted, but it falls incomplete at the 30. That was Buster Henderson that stretched out for it. He got at least one hand on it. Malback was about 5 yards behind him, but couldn't catch it after it was tipped away. That'll bring up 3rd and 2. 10.5 minutes left to play in the Select Air fourth quarter. It's a 21-0 lead for the Appomattox Raiders. So glad that you've decided to join us. Maybe you're a diehard Colonel fan or a diehard Raider fan. Maybe you're just a football fan and you're bouncing around listening to some other games. We're glad you've landed on 105.5. Pistol formation. Montague sets up right behind the quarterback. Delay again. They give it to Montague. Not as much there this time. That time the Appomattox Raiders snuffed out the play a little bit better, and they had a heavy rush coming from the interior of the defense.
Yeah, and trailing 21-0, you got to go for it.
I think so. It's 4th and probably lost half a yard there, so we'll call it 4th and a full 3. But I'm with you. I think when you're down this much, there's just over 10 minutes to play in the football game. You do have to go for it in this situation. Adams ready to take the snap. 2 receivers to each side. Colonels are going to snap this one from the Appomattox 44-yard line. They need to get to the 41. Half rollout play to the right. Adams throws on the run, trying for the outstretched arms of Mateo Malback, but Malback cannot reel it in. Good coverage from the Raiders. That was big Devin Dews over there blanketing Malback in coverage. Turnover on downs. It's Appomattox football at the 44-yard line with 9:46 left to play in the game.
Boy, Jake looks pretty banged up right now. Not only did he came out earlier in the quarter, Angela Emerson paying a lot of attention to his ankle, and then that long run, he never looked like he got his breath after that.
Yeah, he's taking a beating tonight for sure. He keeps coming back. He keeps coming back with enthusiasm and vigor and keeps making great plays. Adams wants to run on maybe a designed quarterback draw. Might have been a passing play. He gets some yards, though. 7-yard pickup on first down as he works his way right up the middle through the defense of the Altavista Colonels.
Boy, Page just continues to make good decisions. He looks a little banged up coming up out of the pile, walking gingerly.
Yeah, make no mistake about it. The Colonels have hit him with some shots, too. They've gotten to the quarterback a few times. It's not like Page has a completely dirt and grass-free jersey. I mean, he's been dropped to the turf. Looks like Appomattox is going to go back under center again. They'll use 2 wideouts, though, not the jumbo formation that we saw earlier. Split backs behind Matt Page on 2nd and short. Long snap count. He's going to keep it. Quarterback keeper. Quarterback sneak right up the gut, right to the teeth of the Colonels' defense. Easy for me to say. He's got enough for a first down.
I think you're right. It was right in the teeth. That was a tough, hard-nosed play, wasn't it?
It was. 1st and 10. The Altavista 43-yard line. Raiders continue to move the chains. Here we go. Page hands it to the first man through. He'll pick up some yards. Big convoy of blockers in front of him. Now finally thrown down 11 yards past the line of scrimmage. This is going to be enough for another first down Unless they spot the football back. No, they're moving the sticks again. Raiders chunking up yards here with 8:40 left to play in the football game. They already lead 21-0. They'd love to put the cherry on top with another score.
Yeah, that was Trey Walker, who's been strong tonight, as all the Appomattox runners have.
They really have. Deron Kelso and Philip Fleshman look like they're the backs set up behind Matt Page. He'll hand it off to Kelso. Kelso going right tackle. Another solid pickup. A lot of the times on that quick hitting play where they give it to the first guy through, he never really gets full stride because he's right on the backs of his own linemen immediately when he gets the football. Jacob Adams is going to check in on defense. You can see he's got a little bit of a hitch in his giddy-up. It's not full stride as he runs back out there on defense. He'll set up shop at one of those outside linebacker spots. 2 wideouts to each side again for Appomattox. Page under center in the crouch. Passing play here on second down. Looking for the end zone. Heaves it up high. Good coverage again from the Colonels. Colonel's secondary's made some nice plays. I think it's Walker Allen out there that swatted it away again, isn't it? Yep. Good stuff from Walker Allen. I mean, obviously Matt Page can throw. You know he can wing the football around. So to stay stride for stride with that receiver and then rise up and just get a fingertip on that ball is pretty impressive.
Well, and Walker did a good job of positioning himself beyond the receiver on that and really inhibiting his route. Really almost like he was the receiver. Great job.
Yeah, Walker plays the position game well. They hand it to the first guy through again. That's number 21, Deron Kelso. He's storming to the end zone. He got hit hard and stopped around the 15, regathered himself, found the second and third win, and then raced it into the house for the Appomattox Raiders. Raiders lead 27-0, extra point on the way. That's a 25-yard touchdown from Deron Kelso and the Appomattox Raiders. Now that, like I said, might be the cherry on top. Kelso is another one of those juniors. He's 5'10", 160 pounds. Raiders have some senior leadership, including Matt Page and some other guys, but they have a host of juniors that are also pretty good ball players. Carter Jamerson on to try the extra point again, his 4th one of the night. Snap back, ball down. This kick is good. It's a 28-0 advantage for the Appomattox Raiders over the Altavista Colonels. 7:38 left to play in the football game when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
No one knows trucks like we know trucks. Come see us and you'll agree. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC. Come on in. Bring the family. See your friends at Highview Motors. Highview Motors, GMC. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
The Appomattox Raiders, they led 7-0 at halftime. 14 points in the third quarter, now 7 points in the fourth quarter. That adds up to a 28-0 margin over the home team, the host Altavista Colonels. Colonels are probably going to fall to 4-3 on the season, barring some kind of a minor miracle in the last 7.5 minutes. And the Raiders are going to improve to 7-0. End-over-end kick. Ballback dove for it, but did not come up with it cleanly. Now he's on his feet. He's got 4 blockers in front of him. Runs it up the alleyway. Pretty good return across the 20. Going to get thrown forward. Big rugby pile forms, and they push him forward to about the 24, the 25. Interesting play. I mean, Malback dove for it like a center fielder would go after a line drive in the gap.
It's a good thing he didn't come up with it, but he would have been down at the 2 or 3 yard line.
That's exactly what I was thinking. If you can kind of force your instincts to not catch that ball, it probably skips in the end zone for a touchback. As it stands, they get 4 yards better than a touchback. They'll start on their own 24-yard line, right hash mark. Interesting play, though, for sure. Adams still in there at the quarterback spot. He's got Nelson Dews to his left side as a running back. 2 receivers to the right, 1 tight end, 1 wide out to the left. Now they switch the formation. Screen pass. They're looking for McClure over there on the left sideline in between left hash and left numbers, and he loses yards. caught the football. Mormon was blocking for him. It ends up being a 3.5 or 4 yard loss on first down for the Colonels.
The problem with that play is that Mormon had 2 defenders to block, and he had to try to pick which one, and you just can't do that.
Colonels look over to the sideline for the formation. Remember, join us for the Subway post-game show. We'll get you some scores. We'll recap this one. Talk a little bit about next week. Good rivalry game between the William Campbell Generals and the Altavista Colonels. We'll be in Naruna. 2nd and 12.5 for Altavista coming up. Adams looks for the snap, turns around, gives it to Nelson Dews. Dews has got a nice convoy up the middle of blockers. Solid 5-yard gain there on 2nd down. As Dews begrudgingly flips the football back to the referee. 6:40 left to play in the football game. 28-0 is the Appomattox advantage. Remember, this game was a lot closer than that for a while, but the Raiders have come out and really played great in the second half. I'll make a point here after this 3rd down play, Oscar, hopefully. Adams going to catch a snap and roll out to his right. Pass run option. He's going to keep it himself. Tries to cut it back inside. Maybe should have kept going to the sideline. He's dropped right around the 26-yard line. Not nearly enough for a first down. 4th down situation coming up. I think we'll see Walker Allen on the punt again. My point was going to be, this really is the first time this year that the Colonels haven't outplayed their opponent in the second half. I mean, you think back even to Lunenburg and Rustburg, the 2 games they lost. They really outplayed the other team in the second half. They just had too much ground to make up.
Yeah, they played a very good first half, and just you got to wonder at what point, if this Colonels team can put a full game together, how good are they going to be?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the question that we have to ask.
I think they're a dangerous animal when they do.
We haven't seen it. I mean, I would challenge that we haven't seen it yet.
No, I would agree with that. Kick gets away from Walker Allen. High boomer again. Going to land on the Raider 39-yard line and take a Colonel roll all the way inside the 30. Stopped down at the 29-yard line. Return man was Dre Perkins. He wanted no part of that high-hanging kick. He saw the Altavista coverage team coming and possibly remembers the last punt where Nelson Dews jarred the football loose and Colonels ended up with a fumble recovery. So all those things played a factor in the decision-making process.
Well, once again, Walker turned the ball over, 41-yard punt, no return. The punting game has been good tonight. Just had to do it too many times.
That's right. No, that's exactly right. I mean, it's nice to have that punter as a weapon. We've seen that all throughout Walker's career, but you don't want to have to use it as a weapon too much. 1st and 10 for the Raiders. They'll get under center, 1 wide out to each side. 5:18 left to play in the football game. It's 28-0 Colonel lead. New quarterback in the game is Javon Scruggs for the Appomattox Raiders. He wears jersey number 1. He's a sophomore, 5'9", 145. Hands it off, and it's a 4-yard pickup on first down for Appomattox.
Yeah, and we had seen Matt Page a little dinged up, limping around a little bit. So Doug Smith's no dummy. 28-0 with 4:53 remaining in the ball game. He's not going to risk anything, and they're in a tight formation right now. You're going to see a large dosage of ground game.
I would think. Backup quarterback Javon Scruggs is going to keep it himself. He's shut down about a yard shy of the first down marker. Had a big convoy of blockers out front. Most of the blockers were 5 yards past him. If he could have dodged that tackle, he might have been headed to the house.
You know, and here's another kid that you're calling his name, and he's a sophomore. This is this isn't a flash in the pan, 1 year and done Appomattox team. This team is strong. They've got a lot of depth. They got some underclassmen that are major factors too. So.
Sure.
Doug Smith doing a great job building the program at Appo.
Timeout on the field. The Altavista Colonels take it to discuss some things. Let's discuss it with them. They trail 28-0 to the Appomattox Raiders. 4:37 left to play in the football game on 105.5 KD Country.
Stay cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling on the ready to keep you comfortable year-round. Locally owned and operated, just a call away with over 20 years experience. Licensed and bonded. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, specializing in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical. Any season, anytime. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and warm in the winter. Give them a call today. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, Gretna.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
4:37 left to play in the Select Air fourth quarter. Remember, they're online at selectairmechanical.com, and they're your authorized train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. 1st and 10 for the Appomattox Raiders. Scruggs will fake the handoff and keep it himself. Runs behind left tackle. Falls forward as he's brought down by Aaron Close and Traquan Farmer for the Altavista Colonels. Solid pickup on 1st down. 7.5 or 8 yards gained there on the quarterback keeper from Javon Scruggs for the Appomattox Raiders.
Yeah, and Appomattox continues to like you said, pounding ground and burn that clock. And I highly doubt you'll see the ball in the air for the remainder of the game for Appomattox.
Last time the Raiders beat the Colonels was back in 2011. That was a 28-25 win for Appomattox. Scruggs going to keep it himself, going to try right tackle this time. Good blocking up front. Maybe too good. They throw a flag, think you might have had a hold. This is coming back.
Yeah, Josh McClure was closing in on that play, and player got him in the back with a hold. So they come back. That's going to be probably second and about 13 or 14.
That sounds right. Dating back to 2009 when the Colonels won their first state championship, Altavista had won 5 out of 6. Like I said, 2011 was the last time the Raiders beat Altavista. That's the lone win in that time frame. This one is going to change that. And as I mentioned, Raiders are going to go to 7-0 on this season. It used to be, before the yellow line and all that, Oscar, we'd say unbeaten and untied because we had ties back then.
That's right.
And you can still have ties in the NFL. Happens every year. It seems like the Browns are involved in it every year. They get a lot of ties.
And
tackle made by Mateo Malback right there at the original line of scrimmage. So that'll set up 4th and 9. It looks like the Raiders are going to punt this away. You were going to make a comment about one of the Browns quarterbacks?
You just happened to mention the Browns, and then we were scrolling through some football news earlier in the broadcast and happened to see that one of their Heisman Award-winning players has gotten himself in a little bit of trouble again. So
3rd and 9. Pardon me. I thought it was 4th down. The stick might have been wrong. 3rd and 9. Appomattox under center again. Option play to the left. Scruggs pitches it. Then he tries to go out and block. You're going to be shy of the 1st down marker. Mateo Malback with another nice tackle. Wrapped the ball carrier up around the knees and brought him down to the turf with some help from the rest of the ball club. That was number 30. Says 39. I've got a 38 on my roster, Oscar. Jerron Hines.
5'10", 170, a junior.
Does that look right?
That looks about right.
Hines with a good carry there, and it'll bring up 4th and 3. Now Appomattox does have the punt unit on. They look like they're going to boot this away with 2:35 left to play in the football game. 28-0, Appomattox on top. Not the first time the Raiders have punted today, but the Colonels certainly haven't made Appomattox do it enough. Rugby-style punt coming up from Jamerson. He rolls to his right, boots it away with the right foot. Pretty good kick. Mateo Malback doesn't have a chance to return it. Takes a nice Appomattox bounce down to the Colonel 11-yard line. That's where Altavista is going to set up shop and run what will probably be their final offensive drive of the football game.
42-yard punt, no return. Kicking games have been about a push here.
Yeah.
Except for the one big play at the beginning of the half that really set the tone for the second half.
When you run that rugby-style kick with a right-footed kicker, I think it's really great when you're on the left hash mark and you got all that field there. I don't like it as much when you're on the right hash mark because I feel like you run into the sideline pretty quick. But it is a nice weapon to have. And if for some reason the other team forgets to have a contained guy out there, somebody messes up their assignment, the punter can just keep going and run for the 1st down out there with all that space. Man in motion is Mateo Malback. They're going to hand it to him on the jet sweep. He's wrapped up in the backfield. Nice job by the defensive lineman to beat his block there and bring him down.
5-yard loss. That was David Lutz on the tackle for Appomattox. Brings up 2nd and 15. First time we've run the jet sweep tonight.
Yeah, interesting point. That's normally a bigger part of the Colonel's offensive package, but
maybe the coaches knew something.
Well, that's certainly a valid point, too. I mean, I think no better game planner in the area than Mike Sharness. He's got a great offensive game plan coming in, so you're right. Maybe they knew that play wasn't going to work too well. Football is out. That play's never going to work well. There was a miscue between the exchange from quarterback to running back. Football popped out. It looks like big number 8, Marquise Morgan, jumped on that ball. The Raiders are going to take over inside the Colonel's 5-yard line. Boy, as if it couldn't get any worse for Altavista. Another fumble right there, another turnover. You know, they've been hampered by turnovers all year, Oscar. In this game, it seemed to bite them again. The Colonels didn't make it look as bad because they got some turnovers of their own, the interception and then a fumble recovery or two. But that really hurts there, and that's the final straw. Let's see if Appomattox is going to take a knee or they want to score. They got 90 seconds left in the football game. They're going to snap this ball from the Colonel's 6-yard line. So it's first and goal from the 6. Scruggs looks around and makes sure his running backs are set. They're going to run a play. Scruggs is going to keep it himself, wrapped up in the backfield. Nelson Dews and his man just waging a war on the outside again. Nelly clearly hasn't stopped playing hard. That's good to see. Probably a loss of one there. Will make it second and goal now from the 7. And they put it back on the 6.
And certainly Appomattox is in no hurry. They'll consume all the 25-second clock. And when you get in a situation, the officiating crew generally does a good job of being slow to reset the clock, knowing that the outcome is decided.
Yeah, everybody knows the story. Everybody knows that the Colonels can't come back from 4 touchdowns in less than a minute. Scruggs is under center, set to go. Hands it off, and that football's out. Fumble is going to get recovered by number 12, Jalen Holland. He was the running back. Another same problem the Colonels just had, Oscar. I mean, the exchange was just screwed up between the quarterback and the ball carrier.
Yeah, the officials are slow. 27. Look at them picking the ball up. This is gonna be a wrap. They're not gonna have to snap the ball.
They don't really want Appomattox to run another play.
Yeah, Appomattox may, but they don't have to snap it.
Yeah, play clock is at 25. Hadn't even started yet. Game clock at 12. I don't think they're going to run another play. It's almost as if the referees aren't even going to let them run another play, and that's it. Both teams are running off to their respective sidelines. That's the ball game. Colonels lose this one, 28-0. Appomattox on top. Subway postgame show on the way when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
Prompt, confidential, professional. A-Town Bail Bonds. 434-401-0253. Local, reliable, available 24/7. A-Town Bail Bonds. 434-401-0253. When a friend or family member is arrested and jailed, call a professional. Call Chip Rourke and A-Town Bail Bonds. 434-401-0253. Get answers. Get help. A-Town Bail Bonds. 434-401-0253.
Appo Auto Glass is your windshield repair and replacement center in Lynchburg. You get a free car wash with all windshields replaced in the shop. Appo Auto Glass wants the fans to enjoy the boys of fall this high school football season.
When I feel that chill, smell that fresh cut grass, I'm back in my helmet, cleats, and shoulder pad. Kings of the school, man, where the boys of fall.
Appo Auto Glass salutes the boys of fall.
Bank with the local team. Bank of the James on Main Street in Alta Vista. Stop by our office today to talk with Bobby Walker and his team of local bankers to learn about local banking with Bank of the James. We offer a full line of personal and business banking products and services, including online banking and bill pay, personal and commercial loans and lines of credit, and mortgage loans. Bank with the local team. Bank of the James. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Installing atrium vinyl replacement windows is like an investment in your home that can begin to pay dividends right away. You can save up to 30% or more on your home's heating and cooling costs. Add to your home's equity and add to its value by upgrading its looks and energy efficiency. Custom crafted atrium vinyl replacement windows. Invest in your home's future with English's.
English's is your complete home center.
Business 29 Alta Vista.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway post-game show has arrived. The Alta Vista Colonels fall to 4-3 on the 2015 campaign. It's a 28-0 victory for the Appomattox Raiders. They stay undefeated. Oscar and I will bring it all back and talk about it. Radio Shack Player of the Game. We'll get you some scores. We'll do all that and more when the Subway post-game show returns to 105.5 KD Country.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving
since 1905.
Personal, memorable memorial moments, celebrating life and more.
Pre-arrangements with confidence,
Trust and care from our family to yours. Finch and Finch funeral and cremation service.
a family serving family since 1905.
Hello, this is Jerry Miley from 1433 Altavista Moose Center. It's asking everybody to come on down and join us and see what the Moose is all about to help us support our Moose Heart, Moose Haven family. Anybody's welcome to come down and take a tour of our building and see what's going on. Come on down and we'll let you in and we can have some fun. We're looking forward.
Meet Jerry and the rest of the Altavista Moose family and become a member. The Altavista Moose Family Center on Lynch Mill Road.
Start your business on the winning drive with an Altavista revolving loan. It's an opportunity to score big for your company's future growth. Funds available up to $10,000. Loan rate 1% below prime. Huddle up with Altavista Economic Development Director Dennis Jarvis II at Altavista Town Hall. Make your move today. The Altavista Revolving Loan Fund encourages economic development and enhances community vitality.
Hey guys, this is Terrell Salmon at Best Bet Motor Sales. Stop wasting time running all over town to these car lots that advertise easy finance and easy credit. Come on by and see us here at Best Bet Motor Sales. We have guaranteed credit approval, low down payments, warranty on all vehicles, and vehicles more than affordable starting at only $59.95. You can check out our inventory at bestbetmotorsales.com. You can check out our weekly specials on Facebook. Or better yet, come on by and see us. Best Bet Motor Sales on 29 South.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Colonels 0, Raiders 28. It was a very, very good first half if you joined us late. Appomattox led 7-0 at halftime, Oscar. We were debating what the Colonels could do and, who felt good about the way things were going in the first half. I think the consensus between both of us was that both teams probably felt okay about the first half. Appomattox, boy, they came out in the second half and just turned the steamroller on and used it with great effectiveness.
Yeah, the Colonels just never, ever able to mount any kind of offensive drive at all. Appomattox just shut them down. Well scouted, well coached, well prepared, and executed extremely well.
Yeah, the execution. Now, they did have a turnover in the second half. Traquan Farmer picked up the fumble that Nelson Dews busted loose on the special teams. But that offense, when they got into the double tight, some of the unbalanced line stuff in the third quarter, they just started powering the ball up and down the field.
Well, and the Colonels are averaging 34 a game.
Yeah.
And Appomattox came in here and just really shut them down and never let them get in any type of rhythm. It just looks like everything that the Colonels had planned or tried to do, Appomattox had dialed it up and anticipated that call and were able to stop it.
Yeah, and when the Colonels did have a hole up front and the ball carrier got into it, Appomattox closed quickly, and it was only a 5 or a 6 or 7 yard gain as opposed to 15 or 20 like the Colonels have been getting.
Well, you kind of use this game as a measuring stick, and this is an undefeated AA team, and coming against the Colonels who are in a rebuild kind of year, and you use it as a measuring stick. And we had two questions coming in: Are the Colonels going to be okay? Which again we think they are. And how good is this Appomattox team? I think they're as good as advertised.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree 100%. I mean, I don't think they got off to a slow start in the first half. I think Altavista just had their A game in the first half, and then the Colonels couldn't maintain it. But Appomattox not only maintained it, they turned it up another level. Their game went to 11 tonight. I mean, they went well past 10 on the amplifier, all the way to 11. Last time Altavista was shut out, Oscar, and this courtesy of our dear friend Bob Alvis, who always wants credit when we mention things that he comes up with.
Such a drama show with him.
He is. No, we love Bob, and check him out on WSET Football Fridays. Bob does a great job on there, and as we mentioned, Bob is a colleague that we love dearly. Anyway, back to the stat. Last time the Colonels were shut out, you have to go back to 2009 against Gretna. And that's a long time. I mean, that's a long time to have not scored a point in a football game. Maybe the silver lining on that cloud was the Colonels did win a state championship in 09. Only game they lost that year was to Gretna. And, of course, you remember how good the Hawks were back then either. So no real kick in the pants to get it shut out by Gretna. Same way this year. Appomattox has a talented, wonderful, well-coached football team. We feel like we've got a talented and wonderful post-game show. Big shout-out to our sound engineer, Eleanor Haney, doing her best tonight, making it sound good. Big shout-out to you wherever you are. Glad you decided to join us. We're going to take one more time out on the Subway post-game show. We'll bring it back with the Radio Shack player of the game, a few of those scores from around the area, then we'll let you ride off into the moonshine and enjoy your weekend here. Appomattox with the big victory to stay undefeated. 28-0 over Altavista. You heard every second of the action. The award-winning high school sports coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
Unfortunately, I have some bad news.
How bad is it, Doctor?
We've done all we can. Your heat pump's not gonna make it.
Oh, no.
Honey, it's going to be okay. We'll call Select Air Mechanical and Electrical, 332-2600. With over 60 years experience, they'll have us comfortable again in no time.
I recommend Select Air to all my patients. Call 332-2600 or visit selectairmechanical.com. They can handle all your home comfort needs, and they're an authorized trained dealer. It's hard to stop a train.
Zaxby's, Wards Ferry Road, Lynchburg.
Man, that house salad looks good.
Dude, it's so good.
How about one bite for the road?
No.
Sharing is caring.
No. You can't have any of my salad, bro.
Wait, I got it right here.
I got $20 in a dream, yeah.
No, that's a hit right there, dude.
Thank you.
Thanks, dude.
The house salad. Grilled chicken atop mixed greens, cucumbers, Roma tomatoes, cheddar and jack cheeses, and fried onions. Served with Texas toast. Zaxby's, indescribably good.
The Village Barbershop, an old-school 1960s-style barbershop offering classic and current cutting techniques for gentlemen and boys. No appointment necessary. Responsible pricing in a clean family environment. Village Barbershop, open Tuesday through Friday, 8 to 6, Saturdays till noon. Stop by and see Danny Barber at Village Barbershop, serving Altavista and surrounding areas from 619 Broad Street. Give them a try.
Brother needs a pickup, sister wants a ride. Uncle needs a sports car to keep him satisfied. Mama, she wants comfort, luxury and style. And Daddy, he just wants a deal that's gonna make him smile. Everybody's happy, you can hear them all say, we're glad we went to Fellers Chevrolet. Competition for all dealers in Central VA. A short drive will save you money. Fellers Chevrolet in Alta Vista.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
Subway postgame show back again, our final segment here on 105.5 KD Country. And remember, you're not going to beat Subway of Alta Vista as far as customer service goes, as far as food quality goes, as far as affordability goes, Oscar. They have it all, and they have 3 great area locations. Of course, the flagship there on Main Street, and then also inside the Walmart on Clarion Road, further up the road a bit on Route 29 inside Foster Field. Subway, eat fresh. I mentioned some scores. Let's go ahead with it. Brookville beat EC Glass 43-0. Jefferson Forest Cavaliers at last check were playing Amherst, and the score was this, Oscar, 63-35.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, JF, do they replace the light bulbs in the scoreboard over there pretty often? Because they just they light that thing up like a Christmas tree.
Yeah, P.T. Barnum, greatest show on earth. It would be fun to watch that team play. Of course, our old buddy, Navy Jones, we've seen what he's capable of. And, boy, that's got to be fun for those kids.
It does. It does. They got a great atmosphere going on up there. I know they're having the time of their lives, and they'd like to go a step further than they did last year as far as the playoffs go. Our friends at Rustburg knocked off Heritage 21-7. The Chatham Cavaliers beat Nelson County 35-14. And then a game of very particular interest because it's the Colonel's opponent next week, Oscar. Dan River is beating William Campbell 30-23. William Campbell, the opponent next week. Dan River comes the final week of the season. You want to talk about the Generals briefly before we recap this game?
Yeah, that's going to be a ball. That should be a ball game. We saw them late in the year. They came on last year and behind Staten, who is just a stud of an athlete.
Yeah.
Basketball, football. big article on him in the News in Advance this week on what he's accomplished so far this year.
Great athlete. Sounds like an even better guy. I mean, it sounds like the kind of guy you'd love to hang out with and play a little pinball. Do kids still play pinball?
Yeah.
Somewhere they do. We'll get him a pinball machine for him to play. He's probably pretty good at that, too. He's good at everything else. And I will say this, Oscar. That game has some serious playoff implications, too, because William Campbell and Altavista 1A, both in that East region, there's only 12 teams getting in now. You could make the argument that the winner of this team might get in and the loser of this game might not get in. I mean, that's a valid argument to make. Whether that ends up being true, you never know. They could both get in. I do feel like the winner of that game is definitely in, though, don't you?
Yeah, I think that's a fair analysis, and I tried to pull up the VHSL reference site today to see exactly where everybody was ranked and wasn't able to get to it. So it'll be interesting to see Monday when the rankings come out exactly where both of those teams are. I'm sure that both coaching staffs will look at it prior to going into practice next week.
Yeah, I would think. It's going to be on their mind. They're probably looking at it after they see some scores tonight. Again, 16 teams have normally been getting in the 1A East region. They've cut that down to 12 this year. The 1 through 4 seeds will get a first-round bye. Now, in years past, that would have been something the Colonels would have been angling for, was one of those top 4 seeds. This season, I don't think they can get one of those top 4 seeds. If they win out, maybe, and that's even a maybe because there's some good teams in the East region. But the more games you win, the better your chances are, and that's the bottom line.
Well, and you're playing against AA schools the remainder of the way, with the exception of William Campbell, with
Right.
Gretna, and with Dan River. So that makes a difference in the point factors as well. So you never know. I don't think, I'm like you, I don't think it's mathematically possible for them to get to the top 4. They'll have to, right now the goal is to make the playoffs.
Yeah, the math is funny. When you start, getting into the 4th and 5th decimal place and rounding numbers and exponents, it's kind of crazy. Not that all that happens. I was being somewhat sarcastic with that. Hey, let's put the final touches on this game. There was a 28-0 Raider victory. Player of the game time for both squads. Brought to you by Radio Shack on Main Street in Altavista. Convenient, and as I mentioned, they're also your home for White's Music Shop. They've got a nice selection of acoustic guitars in there. They've got strings and picks. They've got drumsticks. They've got some other miscellaneous things like that, tuners, all the things that a musician might need. So check them out. I'll go first for the Appomattox Raiders. A lot of good players to choose from. I am going to go with a guy that we talked about a lot. We love him on the basketball court. We love him on the gridiron. Number 2, the senior, Matt Page. He's a wonderful player, Oscar.
Yeah, he looks good. He can spin the ball with anybody we've seen the last couple of years, and has great command of the offense, a leader. It's clearly visible that he's a leader on that team, and makes good decisions, runs the ball well. I've got to agree with you. It's Matt Page for me as well. And this may be a moot point. We may agree on both of them tonight.
We might agree on both of them. And Matt Page, another one of those guys who is an even better young man. I mean, he's a class act based on everything I've ever heard. He's a joy to watch. If you get a chance to watch some football or some basketball, keep your eye on Matt Page. It's going to be hard to miss him. For the Altavista Colonels, the Radio Shack player of the game. You thinking Mateo Malback? That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I've got to believe he's in excess of between 15 and 20 tackles tonight solo. I don't remember seeing a player from Altavista have that many tackles, us call his name that many times in a game in a while. And, that says a lot when you're talking about a Thornhill and a Demetrius and a Darius and a Destin and a Clydell. And,
Thornhill might be the only exception, but I'm with you.
I mean, he had to have in excess of 15 tackles tonight.
And touchdown-saving tackles, some of them as well.
That's right.
So, I mean, Mateo Malback, fantastic. You certainly had everybody else that played hard. Special credit to Jacob Adams. I mean, he took a pounding out there. He came out of the game several times, but kept going back in. Nelson Dews made some exciting plays.
We called Dante a bunch of times, but certainly Mateo's player of the game, Radio Shack player of the game for the Colonels.
I'm with you, and I like it. Hey, before I mention our starting lineup, our players of the games, the people that really make these games possible, let me mention KD Country's going to be out at the Wooden Chair tomorrow on Timberlake Road in Lynchburg. Eleanor, our fine sound engineer, and then also our executive producer, Dave Haney, will be out there. They got free pizza, free Pepsis, a chance to win Martinsville race tickets, the big race, too. The Goodies 500 or is it 400? I'm not sure. Anyway, racing at Martinsville's always fun. They're going to give away some other things as well, some passes to the Knights of Columbus Haunted House. So no reason to not go to the Wooden Chair tomorrow, their anniversary event. Fun starts around 11, and it'll probably last until you leave, because I know as a KD Country fan, you bring the fun yourself, and we're glad that you stopped by and joined us here tonight. Folks that make our football game possible are Appo Auto Glass, mobile service with pickup and delivery. They're celebrating the boys of fall. Highview Motors, from small to tall, Highview has it all. Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, a family serving families since 1905. Select Air Mechanical and Electrical. They're an authorized train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. El Cazador, be sure to try their new menu, Main Street in Altavista. The Altavista Moose Family Center, bringing communities closer together and celebrating life. Zaxby's, daringly flavorful, absolutely craveable, Wards Ferry Road in Lynchburg. English's, your complete home center, and your home for Atrium Vinyl Windows. First National Bank, focused on providing an extraordinary customer experience. The Altavista Office of Economic Development. Don't forget the tagline contest. They're down to the Final Four. Make sure your vote counts. English Construction, wishing our high school athletes an exciting and injury-free game. Feller Chevrolet, a short drive will save you money. PCM Industrial Services, serving the Mid-Atlantic region with quality maintenance and construction services. A-Town Bail Bonds, be good, but if you can't be good, call Chip Rourke, 401-0253. That's 401-0253. The Village Barber Shop, current and classic cutting techniques for gentlemen and boys. Broad Street in Altavista. Somebody give me some positive feedback when I get it right. Best Bet Motors, a respected name you can trust. Quality vehicles on Route 29 just south of the airport. Love what Terrell and the guys are doing up there at Best Bet. Bank of the James, we're making a difference in banking and our community. And, of course, Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer, warm in the winter, and comfortable in between. That wraps it up for us, folks. Appomattox with the big win to stay undefeated. They go to 7-0 with the 21-0 victory over the Altavista Colonels. Colonels fall to 4-3 on the 2015 campaign. For Oscar Briggs, for Eleanor Haney, for Ethan Maddox and Scooter Duff that joined us at halftime, we'll say so long. We'll talk to you next week from Naroona. Colonels travel to face the Generals, a battle of 1A teams with some serious playoff implications. You're going to hear it all live on 105.5 KD Country.